chat. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. Rated R, my dog. My beat, Lyric Cruz, really got down on that beat right there, man. That dude was on a whole, no pun intended, whole nother realm. Cooking up that beat right there, man. That's crazy. Rest in peace, Ken Flores. Rest in peace, Ken Flores. Chicago, stand up. Salute, love, respect to his family, immediate friends, colleagues. Yeah. Here we go. Casey, my dog.
Yes, sir.
What time is it?
It's game time.
Let's go. Yes, sir. Sunday fun day. Welcome to Hood Stocks. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. Appreciate your time this Sunday early evening. Trap City on the beat. I think he was digging a grave while he made this beat. Luggy's interviewing an ICE agent. It's a cold shot. It's a cold shot. Different mask, different type of mask, my dog. This dude's got, if you know, you know. And if you don't know, you're about to find out who this man is, this masked man. Stay tuned. Got a banger for you. Slow fade, baby. Slow fade. Today I went with my girl to a Christian church. Once in a while I do go with her. She goes every Sunday with my girls. And, I personally study the Torah on my own time. But I love me some Christian church, man, because it's a perfect place to get a good nap, because it's just so calm and peaceful, man. Every time, man, it just really makes me it relaxes me, bro. Just the vibration. And I mean no disrespect when I say that, man. The frequency inside of a church can just really unwind you from life's chaos, current chaos, right?
I feel you.
Yeah, and so I wanna share a Bible verse with you guys, and it's not something that I always do, but I'm gonna do it this evening. So this is Proverbs 24:16, and it says, "For though the righteous fail, for though the righteous fall 7 times, they rise again, but the wicked stumble when calamity strikes." Okay, I just wanted to share that with you, and that was a Bible verse that was shared today during church, and it really resonated with the message. And you know what is crazy too is they have a choir right there, and it's beautiful listening to a choir.
Yeah.
And there was an array of ethnic individuals from different ethnic backgrounds. And so they had a Latina, they had a white girl, they had a dude that was, I don't know, he was mixed up. And then they had the black girl, and she was dressed all in the African, muumuu and everything, I don't know exactly what you call it, but
Dashiki or whatever.
Is that what it's called?
African
sure.
moo.
I don't. Once again, I mean no disrespect, but I call it
Word.
the African muumuu. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
And it's beautiful, brother. It's
Yeah,
beautiful,
yeah.
vibrant colors and all that.
Culture.
Good. It's culture, 100%. And so the girl, the white girl started off singing, and then the choir come in and back it up, just like an orchestra, like boom. You know what I mean? And it's cool. But the girl didn't really have that good of a voice. You know, I'm just like, man, why isn't a black girl leading this? And then so they had different parts where now the Latina sang a Spanish part of the song for the bilinguals right there, and then bam, the chorus came in, boom, you know what I mean? And then the little dude with the bald head, I was surprised, man. He sounded like something. See you in the night. Phil Collins. He sounded like a Phil Collins. You know what I mean?
Right.
He had like a Phil Collins vibe. You know what I mean? And then the chorus said boom, and then finally I said, okay, I see what they're doing. They saved the best for last, and then the black girl sang her solo, and I don't know, bro. When she sang, bro, you felt it.
Yeah.
It was just a whole different vibration. And I think that's in overall in music, right?
Yeah.
Like I can feel like I can touch her soul or feel her soul when she sang. She was sang absolutely amazing. It was powerful, man.
But that's why the soul is always mentioned in music, you know what I mean? Especially black music, because it comes from the soul. There's a depth to it, you know what I mean?
And for some reason, it seems like black people can always reach that depth
Yeah, man.
in frequency.
No, for sure. We can too. I mean, it's all we're all the same. I mean, especially when it comes to, non-white culture, we have that depth because we have pain and experience behind it. You
Absolutely.
feel me? So, yeah.
No, I feel it. Maybe we just hear it a lot more come out of the black culture because, let's be honest, in a sense, they own the music industry on a lot of different genres.
Word up.
Is that kind of safe to say?
To some degree, I guess, yeah. I mean, if you mean like talent-wise, yeah, I mean, for sure.
Yeah.
That's just how it's always been,
Absolutely.
And,
yeah.
And many have taken credit for the things that they've innovated, you know what I mean? And when I say I include myself because I'm a mixed baby myself. I know a lot of people don't know that, but being Cuban, like almost every Cuban is pretty much mixed, you know what I mean? And I know for sure my pops was mulatto and my mom's is white, but all from Cuba, you know what I mean? So I have that African shit in me, my brother. I feel it strong, especially when I make music. Like it deeply comes from my soul. You know what I mean?
And with that said, I want everybody to give a warm welcome for our guest this evening, man. You just don't know, man. I'm really, really thrilled and I'm really honored that the boy pulled up on this. The dots connected, man, and we are able to make it happen. With that said, raise up off your futons and give it up for the DJ, former DJ of Psycho Realm, DJFM.
What up,
Let's
yo?
go.
What up? How we doing?
Man, we got a studio audience up in here today, baby.
I see.
Everybody said, oh, DJ FM pulling up, hold up. You know what I mean?
Shit.
Shit. Yeah, absolutely. How you doing, brother?
Good, man. How you doing?
Very
Good to see
well,
you again.
dog. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's good. How's your day going, dog?
It's going good so far. It's a Sunday. Usually my Sundays are pretty mellow. I make sure to block out damn near everything and enjoy my Sundays. You know what I mean? So it's one of them like laid back days for me. I'm chilling.
What does your average work week look like? DJ FM, what does that work week look like? I'm sure it's varied throughout the years, right?
Yeah, for sure. It depends on whether I'm touring, and I'm trying to stay off the road for a little bit, not only because all the shit that's going on, but right before that, I try to kind of mellow out on touring. With Psycho Realm especially, we were on the road a lot. I would say like almost 80% of the year I was gone and away from my family, so I'm really appreciating that time with my kids right now.
What is your current relationship with Psycho Realm?
Well, cool. I mean, if you're talking about Jack and Duke, we rarely talk, but when we do talk, we're cool. We've always been cool. You know what I mean? Me and Jack are literally related because his kid's mom is my kid's mom's sister. So we're like family one way or another, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what's up. Shout out to Sick Jack and shout out to Duke. I used to go to Frankie Knuckles?
Yeah, of course.
I used to go with Frankie Knuckles to Duke's house.
Oh,
and
shit.
I'm not gonna say where. But yeah, we go there and we chill out. And I used to do some music like years ago, bro. And
Produce?
I do some rap music and shit.
Oh, word.
And I would show Duke, and this is when he's, you know what I mean, in the condition he's currently in, you know.
Right.
And he would just like. He would listen to it. And yeah, and he'd tell me certain things, you know, like, one time he says, sounds like that Moreno, what's his name? And DMX.
All right.
You know, and so anyways.
He's got an ear, man. He's always had a good ear for music, you know what I mean?
Bro, the bro's a legend, man. And we'll get into, you know, the Sick Jacket and the Duke, you know what I mean? But man, I'll say this, bro. I feel like, man, if that would have never happened to Duke, man, he would be the top of the top, bro.
It would have been a whole different story right now for Psycho Realm for sure. And that's not to say nothing about Jack, because Jack's a beast.
No, he doing his thing.
But they're two completely different entities, the way they present their shit on stage, the way they rap on record, everything, you know what I mean? So, yeah, I mean, it was definitely a sad thing to see happen, bro. You know, it's shot down so young. And when you're paralyzed like that, it's pretty much like, you know, he can't do music. So it's a really hard fucking thing.
Devastating, bro. Mm-hmm. But it seems like he still like has high spirits.
Yeah.
He's still doing his thing. He's still hustling.
Yeah.
Bro, still pulling up to motherfucking merch. You know, he be doing his thing,
hell
dog.
Yeah, he'll jump up on stage. They could roll him up there, and that brother's all into the music. He's still vibing with it and being part of different production shit. And the guy's always been involved in music, but now that a lot of it is technology based, he can really like get involved with it, because there's means for him to do it, you know, with his lips, and he bites down on this thing and moves his cursor around, so he can even get online and communicate with people and talk to them online and stuff. So
much.
Yeah, shout out to him, man. He's a strong dude, strong dude.
The general, man.
Hell yeah.
I had the privilege, bro, to see them live. See them live back in the day. I think it was 1998, the Dr. Green Thumb birthday bash. Was
it before the first album release?
I think it was during that album release.
Okay, I was there then.
Yeah, I think you were there, bro. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, remember when B-Roll came out, he got the wig on, he's got the, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
he had the doctor coat on.
Where was this at?
House of Blues, bro.
House of Blues, yeah.
Yeah, Hollywood, bro.
Mm-hmm. We used to kill that shit.
I think that was 1998, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
I went there with a gang of my homeboys, bro.
I think that was the ICP tour. It might have been the ICP tour.
It was titled the Dr. Green Thumb Bash, birthday bash. Something like that, bro. Yeah.
Okay. Huh. I barely remember that.
so what were your actual years that you were with Psycho Realm, DJing for Psycho Realm?
Well, they approached me right before the first album was released, right? I was here visiting B Real from Miami, and he took me to one of their shows. And I got up with the old DJ, shout out to Delinquent Habits and DJ OG. I got up there with him, and they see me and they were like, "Yo, what the fuck? We need a DJ on tour right now." And I was like, "That's my boy that's working with you guys, like TRT, rest in peace." And they were like, "Yeah, but TRT, he's in the studio with Muggs, and we need somebody to go on the road with us. Are you down?" And I was like, "All right, let me talk to B and make sure everything's cool with TRT, because I'm not stepping on no toes." And that was my boy, so I met him before Jack and Duke. So respectfully, I went and approached him, and he was cool with it. So, excuse me, I'm a little sick right now, so my breath ain't all there. But anyways, yeah, I through TRT, I made sure that everything was legit, and I said yeah, and I basically linked up with them at that point from the first album. But that first album was recorded, so it's not me scratching on the record. It was just me on tour from that moment on. You feel me?
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, TRT, rest in peace. He's the one that did most of the cuts back then. He passed away, I want to say in like 2019, around then. But he was always around in the background somewhere. You know what I mean? A part of the family and the production team, of course. And Muggs kept him busy in the studio as well. But then, you know, they brought me in for the tour and stuff, and I was with it, bro. I was excited. I always wanted to go on tour. And they had shown me a couple songs like Confessions and All Along the Watchtower, which is still my favorite Psycho Realm song.
Yeah.
And I was like, these sound like my beats. And I showed Jack my beats, and Jack's like, oh shit. It's crazy how I'm across in Miami, miles away, culturally different, you know, every aspect so different, but musically we were making the same type of beats, dude, like very, very similar, you know what I mean? So it was easy for us to click, and we right away we did. And I asked them, I was like, can I wear a mask? You guys mind if I rock a mask? And they're like, what kind of mask? I'm like, either the gas mask, which is the logo obviously, or which at the time was a gas mask bong combo.
Yeah.
And either that or a ski mask, I told them. And they were like, yeah, do your thing, fuck it. You know what I mean?
And that became your signature.
And that became my thing.
And you haven't taken it off since back then.
No interviews, no videos, no nothing. Stage ever, nothing. No.
Have you done a lot of interviews?
Not a lot. I want to say mostly magazines and shit like that.
Back in the day type of shit.
Yeah.
Man, I wish they still had magazines.
You know what's crazy is I was on that first tour with Psycho Realm, and I didn't want to talk, dude. I used to hate the microphone. I used to be like, yo, I don't talk. I talk with my hands. Just get me on stage.
Yeah.
Watch, I'm a flex on the turntables, but don't ask me to talk, you know?
Yeah.
And Duke was like, nah, we need you to talk, bro. Be real. Is not going to make it to all these shows. He's committed to Cypress and us, and he obviously first priority Cypress. It's going to be hard for him to catch up to all the shows. We need you to really like back us up there, you know? He's like, even in the interviews, you know, you're a fucking member of the group, dude. Like, start fucking talking, you know? And I was like, all right. I'm going to start to get into this. And little by little, I got used to the talking on the mic and interviewing and shit like that. But it took me a while.
Okay. What do they call it? Introvert?
I guess, yeah.
Yeah. No, for sure. Well,
Be Real's like that too, believe it or not. He's a quiet ass dude.
No, I can.
You meet him off stage, he don't even talk.
Yeah, no, I can tell. But that's what made you such a like your guys' approach, and I think it's in Be Real, Cypress Hill did the same thing, but the mysterious, you know what I mean? Like you with the mask, like who is this masked person, bro? You know what I mean? Like it was almost like a calculated move to intrigue the audience, you know what I mean? Like, whoa, like these guys are like not superhero, like hood superheroes, I'll say it like that, you know?
Well, for me personally, I grew up, first I listened to rock, and then I got into hip hop.
Me too.
And in rock, I always admired the fact that Kiss was like kind of like that superhero image, but these dudes are living the dream. They're rock stars, they're superheroes, they don't have to show their face. When they step off stage, it's ghost. You know what I mean? And I was like, that shit sounds appealing to me.
And Cypress Hill, just speaking of rock, bro, Cypress Hill and Psycho Realm have had that somewhat of a rock image, bro, in regards to just everything, and then longevity as well.
Yeah. It's the power of the music, because the music is like aggressive. You know what I mean? It's dark and it's aggressive, and it attracts that mosh pit environment on stage. And me and Duke, from the very beginning, we really nurtured that shit, because the minute we seen it kind of start cracking, we would jump in with them and keep it going, you know what I mean? And Duke wouldn't give a fuck. He would jump down there with the mic and do his verses in the pit, you know what I mean? And then Jack started doing it with him too, and it's a thing for them. They've been doing that shit.
How was Duke back in those days, bro? Like, you were side by side with the dude. The dude is, to me, bro, the dude is a fucking absolute legend. We did my hip hop top 5, bro, and I got Psycho Realm as number 1 every single time,
Thank
bro.
you, brother.
You know what I mean?
No, for sure.
The way you brothers, it just made me feel proud, because I came too from a punk rock, a death metal environment, bro, where I wanted the aggression, bro. I wanted the music that was gonna make me move.
Well, there was a few groups like that from back in the day that gave that rock heavy vibe to hip hop. I mean, Public Enemy was one of them for sure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I was a big fan of that shit. That was my favorite shit growing up, dude. So somewhere between those two things, you know, that rock vibe and liking the whole hiding my face thing, I always had the dream and the vision that I was gonna be in a group, but I wasn't gonna show my face. And it's crazy, because when I moved in, the last apartment I lived in with my mom's before I left Miami, somebody left a gas mask, like a paint aerosol mask, in my room, and I fucking hung it up above my bed. So every day when I woke up, I look up at that gas mask before I start my day. And that was the last thing I saw before I left Miami. It was like a hint.
Yeah.
Like God was telling me, I'm gonna send you somewhere to do something. It's got something to do with this shit. It's all connected.
Damn.
And I just didn't know, you know what I mean?
And yeah, and honestly, you know what I mean? You're like, you know what I mean? Grown man talk, bro. You're not a bad looking dude, bro. It's not like you're under that mask, you got a cleft lip, bro. You know what I mean? You know, but like, bro, like sometimes dudes are really, and I guess I can speak for myself a little bit in the sense of just, you know, sometimes dudes are vain, bro, and they want you to look at this handsome face right here. You know what I mean?
But music can be a motivation. I mean, a lot of things that men do are motivated by pussy. You know what I mean? And some dudes would just do music strictly for the pussy. You know what I mean? But for me, and I'm not trying to brag because I'm older now, but I'm saying back when I was, you know, first starting this DJing shit in my teens, I had so much pussy thrown at me, bro. Music was the last thing I needed for pussy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Honestly, in high school, all that shit, it was fun as fuck. But when I got into music, that became my bitch. Like, I was obsessed. I never did drugs or nothing growing up, dog. All I was obsessed was with fucking music. You know what I mean? I didn't want to go nowhere. I didn't want to go to school no more. I didn't want to do nothing. I found the turntable and I was like, this is it. I'm not stopping until I sound like the best motherfucker out there. And I would analyze that best motherfucker out there and I would compare myself. And until I knew I reached that level, I didn't DJ my first house party. And when I went in there, because I tried once and I almost humiliated myself and I felt stupid. And I was like, nah, I'm gonna come back when I'm ready. And I'm gonna come back at a party where that same dude that laughed is gonna be at. And I went there and I battled that dude and humiliated the shit out of his ass at his own thing, you know, when I knew what I was doing.
Yeah.
I perfected my craft and came back.
And so we're talking about the days with the vinyl, right?
Yeah, you're talking about carrying vinyl and, you know, not just the vinyl, but the amps and the equipment and all that shit. Because there weren't no powered speakers back then or none of that, you know?
Sheesh.
Yeah. If I got any muscle, it's all from carrying DJ shit. For real.
Yeah. That's awesome, brother. That's fucking cool as shit, man. How many times did a female just be like, keep the mask on?
You'd be surprised, bro. You'd be surprised. I've heard both. Take it off, put it on.
Shit, by the time you were done, she had it on.
Yeah, that's right. Shut it in her mouth. You fucking trick that
shit. Hell yeah, bro. And we talking about the days, bro. We talking like 90s, right?
Yeah.
You know,
like
that's a whole nether motherfucking realm, psycho realm. You know what I mean? Like, bro, those days were absolutely amazing, brother.
I started coming out here as a kid in my teens to visit. I mean, first person I met from the whole clique was Mellow Man Ace.
Shout out to Mellow Man Ace. He's been on here, bro.
Shout out to Mellow.
Yeah,
fucking
he's a cool ass homie. We had him with his pops pulled up, bro.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, we fed him and everything, man.
That's fam right there. Him and Sen have been fam since then, you know. He came to Miami promoting back when he was doing Mas Pingon, like on Capitol Records and all that shit, right?
Okay.
And he's like, "Oh, I'm Cuban, play my record, blah, blah." He didn't have to say nothing else. I just played the shit. I didn't even listen to it. I just threw it on, you know?
Yeah, he's Cuban.
Yeah, he's surprised. He was like, "What the fuck? You actually played it?" Like, nobody but just does it, you know? Like, people usually like, "Oh, I'm going to scan it. I'm going to check it out," you know? Yeah. I was like, bam, go.
You got to lace their pockets or something.
Yeah, I didn't give a fuck. I was like, yo, get yours, bro. And the club was packed, you know what I mean? I made it happen, and I kept in touch with him. And then I met Sen, because Sen was on the road with him back then.
Yeah.
He used to be his hype dude or side fucking, you know, partner on stage, literally. And, you know, they just kept in touch with me. Mello blew the fuck up, and little by little, I ended up DJing for him. And Sen and B were always like, yo, you gotta fucking come to Cali, you gotta come to Cali. And I just fucking jumped in a car one day with these two dudes, these two homies of mine from Cali.
Yeah.
That used to go to Miami to buy illegal stuff. that at a young age, I was very innocent. I didn't really know what these dudes were doing. I was just like, "Oh, let me get a ride to Cali. I'm just gonna bring my records. I'm not gonna take up a lot of room in your car, I promise." And like, "All right, kid, jump in." And somewhere along the way, those dudes got arrested, and they had all kinds of shit in that car, man. I was like, "What the fuck?" But luckily, they were like, "Yo," they told the cops, like, "This kid, he's just a DJ, man. He don't got nothing to do with what we do. Just let him go." And the cops let me go. They knew.
Oh, so you guys got pulled over and jacked up?
Yeah, bro. But I was like 12 years old. I didn't know what the fuck was going on. I was a baby, bro, you know?
Damn.
So the cops just let me go. They're like, "Yeah, this kid, obviously, he looks fucking terrified." He just let him go.
Yeah.
And you remember the Cristina show back in the day?
Yeah.
I ended up telling that story on there one time with Mello and shit, which is crazy.
So
but
you speak fluent Spanish?
Yes, I do. I'm fluent. Sí, vámonos.
Yeah, I don't speak fluent Spanish, but I remember that show, bro.
Yeah. She was like the Spanish Oprah.
Yeah,
straight up.
Yeah, no, she was big time, bro. She was big time. I don't know how many households that I was in fucking living at, bro, and that show was already always on the TV.
It's either that or Sábado Gigante and shit back in the day.
100%. Shout out to my boy Gonzalo, rest in peace, man. The Chileno. I lived with him periodically for a bunch of years in my juveniles and shit, man. And his mom, beautiful, amazing Chilena woman, bro. Rest in peace to her too, man. She always had those shows on, man.
Yeah.
But bro, before we rewind the track, to history, bro, your history, the beginnings of what made DJFM, moms, pops, all that stuff. I want to touch on if it's okay with you. While you were on tour with Duke and Sig Jackin, man, and once again, a shout out to those brothers right there, man, and shout out to B Real too. He's a little mad at me right now, but B Real, if you're listening or any of these people listening, I love you, dog. And I love you. That's it, man. You a legend, bro. And I still to this day. And shout out to Sendog too, man. I wanted to say this when you talked about Sendog. Elephants on Acid, bro. That album, Sendog. That's my favorite album of Sendog right there.
Oh,
bro.
No shit.
Yeah, he got because finally B Real just let him get some verses in and shit, dog.
He
was like, all right, dog, you ain't got to be a hole in your head. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You go ahead and get yourself a couple verses, bro.
Word.
And he tore it up. But while you were on tour with Psycho Realm, how was it being with Duke, bro? When he was on his 2 feet, just, you know what I mean? How was that dude's energy, bro?
I got some footage on my page of us on the bus behind the scenes when we're just chilling. We're not in the fucking work mode. We're just up being us. You know what I mean? And it's all like just cracking jokes. We got oldies in the background. Bobo's with us. And the oldie playing in the background, shout out to Bobo, is actually his pops, is Willie Bobo. And you'll hear his pops singing in the background. Bobo's kind of vibing with us, telling stories about, the road and whatnot. And you can see how Duke kind of like, we're there having fun or whatever, but he's still got a book in his hand. And you could tell he's doing business while we're talking and hanging out, and he's still thinking, hey, there's still shit to handle. And he was very, very orientated, very business orientated like that. When I was there, I could see that he was really trying to grasp the music business, the merch part of it, and just the money, you know what I mean? Like, how do we make a living off this shit? And I really respected that, seeing that from him, because I was learning. Yeah. I was just a kid. But on stage, there was no holding him back. He didn't give a fuck. Me and him especially were just not shy. Like we went hard up there. And I'll post some of that footage of us too performing. Wow. No, I don't think anybody's ever seen him like that. Just chilling, talking, hanging out, you know what I mean? Walking around.
Would you
us pulling girls, taking them back to the room. I got all that shit, dog. Damn, I got all that shit, dog.
You need to put that in the documentary,
bro.
Oh,
Jack tried to pay me for it, but I was like, I don't know if I want to get rid of that. Like, it's hard to let go.
And what you're offering, too, dog. It's a little disrespectful, homie.
No, he didn't even make an offer. He was just like, yo, let's do it. And I'm like, it's hard for me to part with that shit.
100%. And that's so wild, bro. That's wild in the sense of this, bro. I would say 8 times out of 10 dudes would have put that fucking video footage out, bro. I mean, you said you put a little bit out, but you have a lot more in the background.
Tons, bro. Yeah.
That is crazy, bro. So that tells a lot about the individual that you are. You putting a mask on your face and you telling me that story, bro. It says a lot about yourself, bro. You are more like, you're not ready to jump out for the clout, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're not ready to jump out. Look what I got. You know what I mean? Look at us. You know what I mean? I'm that dude. I was there with them. You know
I'll tell you this, bro. People always ask me like, why did you leave the group? And I'm like, first of all, I didn't leave the group. I was told that, that was it. Like, they're going to work with other people and the group's going to separate and all this other shit.
Was there a reason behind it?
I don't know, Doug. As far as I know, they're just trying different shit.
Was there a falling out?
Nah, I don't really remember it that way. Because, we've always, as a group, had our ups and downs. But when that happened, it wasn't specifically anything that happened. I think it's just that time. You know what I mean? Every group reaches that time when they're either looking at the same people or want to try different people. The DJ isn't seen the way it was back in the day. Let's face it. You know what I mean? Like, the group and the rapper and the DJ used to be a team that if you knew one, you knew the other. Whereas most groups today use different DJs. It's just what it is. You know what I mean?
So there's not like, so a DJ is kind of just like an like a subcontractor,
Like a hired guy.
yeah, subcontractor within so there's not a solid loyalty.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I told you earlier, when I first joined the group, Duke told me, "You are a fucking member of this group, dog. Like you're in it now with us, and it's just us three right now. You can see B-Real's busy and he's barely around. Like we really need you to help keep this thing afloat. Since homeboy ain't here, it's just us three. I need you to do more." And that's, I guess, initially how he felt. But I don't know if that changed along the way or what happened. But when Jack approached me, I was like, bro, I respect it. You know, it is what it is. It hurts.
Yeah.
Because it's been my life for a long time. And I connected with the fans in a weird, very, very close way. Because when the internet wasn't cool, I jumped on there and talked to these kids. And would show up at their fucking house parties and fucking, they were just like, what the fuck? This motherfucker actually showed up. Like,
yeah.
And I connected with people, you know what I mean? Later, when the internet was cool and everybody jumped on it, you know, it was okay. Everybody made friends, but I was doing that shit when it wasn't cool. And I just thought, I want to connect with people. I don't care how they're doing it.
Yeah.
They're showing us love. These are the people keeping us afloat. You know what I mean? So, that's kind of just how it happened. I don't really, I mean, you guys, Jack, maybe he'll tell you different, but
yeah.
As far as I know, you know, it's all good. It's just, you know, music and shit moves on, bro. It's one of those things you can't really like think it's like a career that you're gonna have forever in this particular group. Or like Cypress is a rare entity. A group that's together that long and still together, it's very rare.
Well, they've had their ups and downs too, because Sin Dog dropped off for a little while.
Yeah.
I mean, like you said, bro, like everybody has their ups and downs. Even here at Hoodstock, we've had a lot of different homies, you know what I mean, that have, you know, we've had our falling outs, but we, you know, we good now. And, you know, it just happens, because when you got street dudes involved, I mean, it's not going to be perfect. Let's be real about it, bro.
But for me, I just was grateful. I was like, well, I'm grateful for what I had, you know, the chance to fucking make my name there. Jack was like, all right, do your thing. And I shined, and it gave me my name. And literally, I can go anywhere in the world still.
Cycle Realm.
Yeah. Still touring, and they know, hey, that's FM, Cycle Realm, whatever, you know. But that literally helped me make a fan base around the world. My name, my music, all of it is going to be here long after I leave this world because of that. You know what I mean? So I'm grateful.
Let's go, baby. But it still hurt your heart when Sick Jack and gave you that news.
Of course.
Yeah.
I called Sendog right away, damn near in tears, like, yo, man, this is going to be hard for me, but this is the next step.
It's a bad breakup.
And I think it's like God just pushing me to do more. And Jack was too. He was always telling me, like, dude, you're sleeping on how much shit you could be doing. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna get on it. It's the time, you know.
Okay, so maybe it was the lack of motivation within yourself.
Probably that too,
that put
man.
you in that position.
That too, because I mean, a lot of stuff that I was doing at that time, I was solely like depending on it to come through Cycle Realm, and you can't really have just one source like that. You know what I mean? That was my biggest lesson, I think. And that you always got to have backup shit, you know.
And bro, I always tell all my boys that right here. You know what I mean? But maybe if you were a little more proactive back then, it's kind of like a relationship with a female and shit. When you playing hard to get and shit, not necessarily hard to get, but like you got a lot going on, right? Like, well, hold on, we need to keep this fool right here. I mean, I mean, I might be looking a little too deep into it, bro. But you know, I just when you guys were like, you guys are traveling the world, bro.
Yeah, I mean, all the way from Russia, which is a place that nobody gets to tour, all the way through Europe, Eastern Europe to Western Europe, South America. I think the only place we hadn't been was like the Middle East. It's like the only place. But
would you like another one, brother?
Oh, I'm good right now. Thank you, Danny. I'm about to hit that joint though.
Yeah, absolutely, bro. Light up whenever you like, bro.
But yeah, I mean, damn near every corner of the world, and for many years, repeatedly going to these places. And a lot of times, when it was our first time there, we would make sure we would stay extra days, like at least a week or two, to kind of take in the culture and the food and the environment. So we did that. I mean, I've been going to Japan since '98, like twice a year, bro. You know what I mean? So I know Japan better than I do downtown LA. I don't walk around downtown LA like I do Tokyo. You know what I mean? I drive, but not in Tokyo. You're walking everywhere.
Tell me a little bit about that, because myself and a lot of the audience have never you know, been outside of the state. Ain't never been outside of the city. Some cats ain't never been outside of the block. You feel me?
I feel you for sure.
You know, so when you're experiencing, and shout out to, you know what I mean, just Psycho Realm, that pays, that's memories, bro. Like that is just pays for itself. To be able to travel the world with this group. I mean, talk a little about some of these countries, bro, that you were able to, like Tokyo, Japan, man. You said you've been there so many times. I mean, what do you like about that culture right there?
For me personally, I'm somebody that's big on respect. I think that's everything to me. And when I went to Japan for the first time, the amount of respect that people show each other, and just in general was like mind-blowing to me. I was like, yeah, I was born to live here. Because, I mean, I couldn't believe it. They got like vending machines with beer in the street, and kids ain't wilding out drinking and shit. Nobody's touching it. Imagine that shit here. Kids would be drunk in the fucking sidewalk on a curb. Like, yeah, I mean, like out there, they got that discipline, that respect. And it's just crazy to see, bro, because we grew up so different. We're like animals compared to them. Honestly, the way I grew up,
yeah.
You know, so I see that shit and I'm just like, wow, this is something that we should all strive for.
You know what? We had a Japanese brother on here a few days ago. His name goes by the name of Tony Moon, and he's
Korean.
around. He's Korean. Oh, he's Korean.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think it applies to the same thing. It applies to what I'm going to say right now. Thank you, Case, for the correction. But he says. And I was going to ask you this question, but I thought about Tony Moon, and he says it's all about what you emphasize within your household. You feel me? So I was going to ask you, why would there be so much, respect? What self-control? You feel me? Why aren't kids fucking laying on the sidewalk drunk because it's so many easy access? Like I remember back in the 90s, bro, I'd be on the side of the liquor store, bro, trying to pay the dude some money. Like, fool, give you an extra $1, dog. Give me that 40, bro. You know what I mean? But you know, out there, it's so much discipline, bro. Like, so it's a whole different culture.
Yes, it is, brother. It's like being on another planet. It really is. I mean, the letters don't even look like letters compared to ours. You know what I mean? So when you're out there, you're really going to take in something completely different. Culturally, I think it's something that everyone should experience because it changes you. You grow, and you know. I think. I mean, the world would be a lot less racist if people did shit like that because they could see the beauty in other cultures. You know what I'm saying?
100%. But I think when you talk about racist, I think everybody's racist to a certain extent by default.
Right.
You know?
Right. I feel you.
Yeah, right. You know what I mean?
I don't hear it at home. You might not agree with it, but you know everybody somewhat got something to say about everybody. I've heard it myself. You know, in Miami growing up, out here, everywhere. It's like. You know, being a mixed kid, it's hard to take a side, and I won't say that I haven't yelled out some evil shit at motherfuckers when they pissed me off and said something to me too, because I have. But deep down, I think the real motherfuckers know, like, good people are just good people, and they either deserve to be around or they don't. You know what I mean? There's either good people that you appreciate or you don't appreciate. You know, but there are very few of them.
Well,
I think we should.
100%. I think people are racist on their own kind.
Yeah.
But first and foremost, I mean, PJ, remember Grandma, how she used to be, bro? My grandma, bro, she, you know what I mean? The way she's, you know, hey, Grandma, what you doing? Oh, I mean, right here, folding the sheets, you know what I mean? We make fun of her and clown with her, you know what I mean? But she'd have the craziest thing to say about another Mexican person, bro, you feel me? We'd be like, whoa, hold up, you know?
Well, they feel, hey, man, that's my shit, so I'm free to do it, you know?
Exactly. So that's when you get the pass, right?
Yeah, exactly.
100%.
But I feel like at the end of the day, a lot of that shit stems because, and this is just my opinion, and I've heard somebody argue this with me, that the majority of the people on this planet are kind of fucked up and still learning how to get their shit straight. And they're not good motherfuckers. So you see that, and then you start hating, and you pick that side to hate. But at the end of the day, I think it's just the majority of people suck. It's hard to find good motherfuckers of any fucking race, bro. Of any race. So when you get them good people, appreciate them, dog, because there's so few left. You feel me? That's my opinion on racism, why people choose to fucking hate a group, because they keep running into that same group, and that dude's fucked up, or those people are fucked up. It ain't the race, bro. Just notice that it's everybody. It's very hard to find good people.
You know
That's
what
just my opinion.
You know, you're right, brother. You know what I think good people are? I think good people are the people that people don't like, bro, because they're not going to tell you what you want to hear. Good people are going to share how they really feel about shit.
Yeah.
You know, and me, I value those people. I'm just like, bro, that's solid. I don't agree with the fuck you're saying, bro, and fuck you because you're talking about me right now, but I respect it because that's what you saying what you really feel.
Yeah.
So to me, that's a good person, a real person.
A real
good
friend
person.
too, because I'll tell you this, man, being around the music business and having met so many famous people of every fucking side of the entertainment. I've met famous actors, singers, whatever, right? You could tell at which point some of them let the yes men influence them, right? Because now they can't take a real opinion from a friend. Now they only want somebody around them that's like, oh, your jokes are the funniest, you're the handsomest, you're the best. That last song you did, that was probably your best ever. You're amazing. You're the fucking best. And they're stroking these motherfuckers all day, bro.
I do like that once in a while though too.
Go
ahead.
I get it. But then some of those people get obsessed with that shit. And when somebody like me comes around that looks them in the eye and says, hey, bro, that song's not that great. I've heard you do better. You could probably go back and change that last verse and fucking about. They don't want to hear it.
Constructive criticism.
Suddenly I'm the enemy.
Yes.
And it's like, bro, you're my boy. I'm giving you real criticism to help you because I love you, dog. You're my boy.
Yeah.
If I didn't give a fuck, I'd be like, go ahead, humiliate yourself, bro. What do I care? You know what I mean? But that's the thing. Some people don't want to hear that.
Disciples of the sick, legion of slugs.
Word.
Right?
Word.
These are some of the guys that have come out of the psycho realm, the birth of the psycho realm camp, right?
Yeah, Frankie Knuckles.
Frankie Knuckles, man. Shout out to the homie Mars from Rockwood.
Yeah.
Shout out to little fat dude, homie, that's been on this podcast, Egg Roll, dog. You know what I mean? Man, I'm kind of pivoting a little bit, but Psycho Realm has birthed. They've birthed
Street Platoon as well.
Street Platoons. They birthed some amazing groups, but they weren't ever able to reach the upper echelon like Psycho Realm. And I remember back in the 90s, if you ask me, bro, a lot of people were trying to meet that energy, match the energy, bro.
I think that's a big part of why Psycho Realm never reached a bigger level than Cypress, because it's usually when a bigger group releases a smaller group or a side group like that, people always look at it as the group that the big group put out, you know what I mean? And it's hard. That's why I felt like it was such a good thing, and it worked out. The way God works is crazy. He plans everything just right. For the second Psycho Realm release, which was the War Story, Book 1 and 2, they didn't really have Be Real. I think it was like on a song or two the most, but it was their moment to shine and show the world, like, look, man, me as Jack and Duke, we don't need anybody. We got our own shit, and it's our sound, and it's dope, and look, we're still shining. And they did it in a big fucking way.
I thought it was dope, bro, but still nothing didn't match to me the first Psycho Realm album. But I liked, shout out to the boy Cynic, man. I like when they came out with Terrorist Tapes.
Terror Tapes.
Terror Tapes.
Yeah.
Bro, that album was absolutely ridiculous.
So that was a collective of just like the Six Symphonies album. That was a collective of all of us. Everybody. It was Crow, Cynic.
Who is Crow, bro? I've heard his name.
Crow is a member of Street Platoon along with Cynic.
Okay.
That's a group that Jack and Duke were putting out since back
Cynic
in the day.
because Cynic's been on the podcast too, and he talked about Crow. So just
Shout out to them.
Yeah, I wanted you to refresh my memory on that.
Word. Yeah. So that was a group that Jack and Duke were putting out back in the day as well, and Crow was a part of that. He was one of the MCs and producers of it.
You know what? Honestly, bro, we'll get into the music of now, but maybe we should get into the music of now before we get deep back into your story. I mean, so we for so long, bro. To me, if you ask me, it was just all Psycho Realm and whatever Sick Jack and did after that. After Duke got paralyzed, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's basically all the music that I can fuck with on the the raza side, the Chicano side, the homie side. I'll say the homie side. You know what I mean? Because a lot of the Chicano rap for me, dog, it just wasn't it, bro. You know, and then obviously during those times there was you said that Psycho Rum couldn't meet the level of Cypress Hill, even though in my books they were at that level. But I get it in a worldwide in a worldwide sense.
Yeah, success wise, Billboard, whatever, that kind of level, different. Yeah.
Yes, exactly, and that probably had a lot to do with what happened to Duke, bro. Because I believe if that didn't happen to Duke, bro, they would have been fucking bam. The next, the Wu-Tang of the West Coast in a sense.
Word.
You know what I mean? But for long, there's a roof in the industry.
Yeah.
Did you ever feel the roof in the industry that you can only get so high with the industry being, you're Cuban, bro, but you're running around with a bunch of homies, Mexicans, this, that, the other, you know what I mean? LA.
It did feel a bit like we had bigger obstacles being Hispanic in the hip hop game, especially back then, because there was nothing like it. Other than Cypress, maybe Beatnuts, you didn't really see hip hop groups like that, all Latino, especially that underground, like raw. Like I knew there was a limit to it, but I remember sitting at the back of the tour bus on that first ICP tour with Jack and Duke, and we were discussing how successful ICP was at the time because they were blowing the fuck up.
Yeah.
They were on Howard Stern. Every show we did with them was pretty fucking big, especially for being the first album for Psycho Rum.
Did it have to do with them being white dudes?
I think it had to do with them just making all the right moves, promoting themselves and getting their shit out there and touring like crazy. And they just knew what they were doing, bro. Trust me, it wasn't about the music. They'll tell you themselves that it's all the work they put in that put them where they are.
Management team, maybe?
All that shit, promotion, whatever. You know what I mean? We were learning, but I remember
how big is that? How big is that? Go ahead.
But what I was gonna say is I remember having that conversation at the back of the bus, and us all agreeing that we'd rather have longevity than all the other shit. Longevity, I think, is the most important thing, and you could see groups like De La Soul at the time where, they have a cult fan base where people, Tribe Called Quest, whoever, they've been around forever, Cypress, and people always get their albums, love the shit out of their shit, collect their shit. They're cult fan bases that will always sell almost the same amount as when they started, right? But they're not on the charts, they're not on the radio, they're not in the popular spectrum, you know what I mean? And we were always agreeing that that's what we wanted. We just wanted to stay doing what we love for a living and reaching the people we needed to.
Kind of like the blue-collar work class of hip-hop. In a sense.
Yeah.
I mean,
it wasn't about Grammys and Billboard or none of that shit ever.
How do you retain longevity back then? When you're thinking about retaining longevity, what is the?
Now, mind you, I can't speak for Psycho Rum because that Jack and Duke is their own entity, and that's their creation, that's their baby. Yes. I came along after all that shit was done. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I remember that particular conversation with them, and we all agreed that we'd rather stick around and be in the game doing what we love long than just make a ton of money and disappear. Like, because I remember fucking Violent J from ICP being like, I don't give a fuck. I'm going to do exactly like Vanilla Ice. I'm going to make a ton of fucking money, flip that shit, and leave the goddamn business. I don't give a shit about this fucking rap shit. Like, he was joking because he kind of had that sense of humor, but I took it like, he probably means that shit, like, but not us, man. We wanted to stick around and do what we love, as long as we could.
And I love that you said that, bro, because honestly, we're on the same frequency right now. We're really vibing on a high level in regards to consciousness. And I was gonna use what's his name that you just said?
Violent J.
No, the Ice. What's his name?
ICP.
No, fucking. Vanilla Ice, I'm sorry. God damn it. Drew motherfucking blank. I was going to use him as an analogy of a one-hit wonder.
Oh,
bro.
Yeah, he's perfect one-hit wonder.
Yeah, perfect one-hit wonder,
Turned real estate mogul.
Yeah, turned real estate mogul.
Oh,
bro.
yeah.
Let's
he
go.
bought that Scarface mansion down there in Miami. The one where they blew him out when he fell in the fucking The World Is Yours thing.
Yeah.
He bought that pad. He lives in that shit still, I think.
Yeah,
it's on Star Island. Sick as fuck. Yeah, he's paid, bro. I remember him first buying out a bunch of like X Games fucking stores, like mountain bike shit and snowboards and all this other shit that he was selling down there in Miami. And then he went into real estate, and then you saw him doing, dude's smart. He flipped his money. But for us, we just wanted to do music, bro. We just wanted to do what we loved. All of us had our vision of the future, and it always was just, doing that same fucking style of music we love.
And to this day, Sig Jackin is stuck to the script, and he's still doing the same thing.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, the Cycle de Mile, bro. They're selling out every single year, bro.
Hell yeah.
You know, and he's touring the world. I mean, while you were touring the world, what was one of your favorite places that you toured that you remember to this day? What country was it, bro?
My favorite place to tour, I would say, is obviously either Japan or Spain. But to be honest with you, it all depends. Because if we're talking about culturally, that's one thing. We're talking about food, that's another thing. And if we're talking about the crowd, then I would have to say Santiago, Chile, South America. They fucking wild out, bro. I'm talking like LA or crazier. Wow. You should see the footage. Just go to fucking YouTube, type in Cycle Realm Chile.
Yeah, I saw that footage today.
You'll see them lighting bonfires in the crowd, going fucking nuts. Like, they're wild, bro. And they start doing that soccer cheer for us. Ole, 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 Cycle, whatever. Like, shit's dope, man.
Damn.
Big respect to them, bro, the Chileans.
Casey, did you have to do some homework for this Cycle Realm, for this DJFM interview today? Go ahead and put the...
Let me hold on. Let me put the Chile clip up there so you can see it real quick. Oops.
Yeah, let's look at that real quick. Hey, look at these dudes.
I broke my leg on stage at that particular Chilean show.
Do you know that one right there?
Oh, yeah. I'll
Look at
never forget that
bro.
shit. I jumped up in the front and one of the boards went like this, went like bent down, and my left leg went into the ground, and my right dog, I don't know what happened. My leg went back and straight popped my knee, meniscus and ACL. Look, I'm standing there
Look at that
with on one leg.
Fuck.
Yeah. Jack was like, all right, we call an ambulance, stop the show. I was like, no, keep going, bro.
Is Duke right here?
Let's finish this shit. We got an hour and a half to go.
Is Duke right here?
No, this is way after Duke, bro. This
Okay.
is like 2012 or something, I think.
There was also like
maybe
one of those
2010.
shorts, I think. Was it this one?
What is this right here? Big
Duke. So before Cycle Realm did the official release of the first album and toured with ICP, which was I got to be a part of. Before they did that, they were on the road with Cypress. Jack and Duke got to tour with B, and that was B's way of kind of introducing them to the road, being on stage, getting comfortable with these big crowds, and you can see Duke handling that shit. Hell yeah.
Sheesh.
There's a good performance of ours on YouTube that you can see where we performed at it was the parking lot. What was that club in Pomona off the side of the freeway? Peppers.
Okay.
The Peppers parking lot, bro. It was huge. That's the first time anybody's seen a bunch of cholos in a mosh pit, dog. I swear to God, people were scared as fuck. They're like, what's happening?
And that's what I love about Cycle Realm, because I used to go to the backyard gigs back in the day in the 90s, bro, early 90s, dog, when it was just punk bands, death metal bands, and we'd be in East Los Angeles, we'd be in Northeast Los Angeles, we'd be at the King Kong, what was it, Cafe in Chinatown on Broadway, and there would always be cholos there, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There was a band called Bubonic Plague, bro. Bubonic Plague, bro, was from Stoner's Trece, dog. You know what I mean? And there are a bunch of long-haired fucking cholos, bro. Fucking long shorts, long socks, and Cortez, fool.
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean?
Frankie Knuckles got that vibe too. He rocks guitar and shit.
That shit was fucking hard, bro.
Hell yeah.
Those are my days, bro.
Shout out to NME.
Oh yeah,
They be doing
those
it
are
too.
hard too, bro. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Like, man, that. And so I am so like biased in a sense of music, bro. It is really, really hard for me to hear the music now, dog, because I need that rough shit, bro.
I was gonna say the last time when I was out there in Russia, this Russian band came up to me in St. Petersburg, Russia, and gave me a copy of a song. They did a remake of Showdown, a punk version.
Is that right?
Yeah, I've played it. I DJ on Be Real TV. Shout out to B and the Be Real TV crew. I DJ on Wednesdays on the mix show on there, and I played it last week. I featured that shit so people can hear it. Nobody's ever heard that. It's crazy. Look out for the showdown. This shit's wild.
And so when let's not leave this out the equation or this interview right here, bro. It's you rap too.
I don't know if it's rap, but like I said, I like that rock shit, and I kind of do like the rage or something. I don't know what you call it. But
Casey, bring up Sick Jackin' featuring Fly Cat, Los Angeles. You rap on that song, right?
I do.
Bro, that shit is. You got my favorite verse on there, bro.
No way.
You got my favorite verse. It's a World Trade Center.
Oh, because it rocks out. It rocks out.
Bro,
and shit.
it rocks out hard. Casey, look that up for me, my dog.
We got that
do you
lighter.
know where his verse is or what section?
It's the last verse of the song.
It's the last verse
verse.
of the song. Yeah, just pull that in, bro. You know what I mean? Let's look at this fool right here, bro. It's
Is there
one
a
of my
music video?
It's a music video,
Okay,
bro.
okay,
It's
okay.
one of my favorite.
Because I won't be able to play the audio.
No, you can't play the audio, but I want you guys to show this dude right
okay,
here,
okay,
man.
okay.
It is fucking, bro. This dude right here. I was like, oh shit, DJFM rap too.
That's my alias. When I rap or do vocals or whatever, I call it Frank Black.
How did you get incorporated into that, Frank Black?
Yeah, that's my real name. My real name is actually
Frank Black.
well in Spanish. The Spanish version of that.
Okay. Bro, how did you get? Yeah, take the camera off him when he smokes, bro.
No, you could keep it. I know how to hide it.
Okay.
I'm a pro at this.
No fingerprints, bro. I mean, no face.
That's right. No face, no case.
Yeah. You
ain't nice.
can never get convicted in court on fucking child support, bro. They're like, he looks like a skeleton.
Yeah. How do we know it's him?
They're like, bitch, you better take your ass to the motherfucking cemetery. You looking for your baby daddy? He's in the cemetery. Your baby daddy's in the cemetery, bitch. Shut the fuck up.
Yep. Ghost.
World Trade Center. What was that? Spit that verse, bro.
Fuck, I don't remember it.
Okay.
But I know that I've always had a conspiracy mind, and I've always known about, Illuminati conspiracies.
Because you're talking about that.
Yeah, I'm talking
You almost
about.
sounded like an RGB. What's that dude's name that used to, you know what I'm talking about?
Somebody said it was kind of like a Chub Rock thing too.
I don't know. It was hard as fuck, bro.
I don't know.
Yeah. But how did you get incorporated in that verse? Was it just like
I produced the beat. So
You produced
what
the
happened with that particular album? There's an artist from Italy named Flycat. Shout out to him, man.
Shit, let's go. That fool hard. I don't know what the fuck you was saying.
He's a sick ass graffiti artist from Italy, bro. He just got honored out there by the government. They did a thing for him in a museum and shit. The dude's a giant in Italy. Respect to
Flycat,
him.
holler at me. Let's get you an interview.
Yeah, he did this album and he wanted all of us to produce it. He wanted Jack to do 2 songs, Crow, Cynic, myself, all of us to produce 2 songs on his album.
Yeah.
And we did it. And then he wanted us all to rap on the shit. And I'm like, I don't rap, but I'll switch up my part to a little more rock style and I'll try to do my thing,
Bro, you need to do a whole album like that right now.
I think the coolest thing that I ever did with those guys vocally is a hook that I did on a song called Not Guilty. That shit, that's where I got to really be myself, and I was comfortable enough to do it and feel good about it. And yeah, it's called Not Guilty. It's on the Terror tapes, actually.
Okay.
I'm on the hook and shit. Muggs did a remix of that shit with a Deftones beat that he flipped.
Shout the Deftones.
Word
man.
up.
That's my shit right there.
It's my brother Steph. He's on the podcast with me, man. Shout out to Steph Tone.
You guys do a podcast?
Yeah, Steph Tone, myself, Psycho Les from the Beat Nuts and Be Real. Usually Mello's on there with us.
Oh, on the Be Real podcast.
Yeah,
You guys go in there and do it together.
Yeah.
Okay, I need that Deftones motherfucking interview, bro. Hook me up, dog. Casey, you having a hard time finding it?
Yeah, I can't find the video. How long ago did you find that video?
All the time, bro.
Flycat. The song's called Our Sign. I see.
Okay, that's it right there.
But it's not a video.
Los Angeles.
Los Angeles, bro.
Oh, the name's called. Oh, the song's called. Okay,
Yeah,
right,
that's
right,
right there, bro. Bam.
Well, I know, but the name was different.
That Concrete Saints, right?
Yeah.
That's the homie from Concrete Saints, right?
I believe so.
That's Flycat right there,
Yeah.
going off. Bro, this is one of the hardest
Go to
songs
the end.
ever made, bro.
There I go.
There he goes right there. Yeah, let's see. Where you
Shit. That's the hook he's singing.
at? Okay.
It's Duke.
Hey,
Yeah,
Duke,
big
man.
Duke.
That song is too hard, bro. Let's get to the part where homie's at.
I sampled some angels from a Spawn cartoon thing where it's like a chorus.
Right there, he goes right there.
It's like a chorus of children doing like a creepy, some weird shit. That beat is real dark.
Yeah, so there he goes right there.
Yeah, that's my
Look at
verse.
that shit.
My
Hey,
shit.
look at that shit, bro. That shit is hard. You guys gotta watch, bro. Run them numbers up, man. I hope it's on the Psycho Realm shit. They get that or Sick Jacket, man. They get that motherfucking views. Bro, that's my shit right there, dog. That's my
Thank
shit,
you, dog.
dog. That's what
Appreciate that.
That's what I identify with, bro. You feel me?
Okay.
That vibration right there is what I fuck with, bro.
Word.
Huh?
Yeah.
That's them good days.
That's them good days, huh? You guys hear the sirens in the background. We're in East Los Angeles, sir.
Oh, I thought it was me.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, how the fuck you find me here?
Yeah. I mean, are you?
Mask ain't that good.
How do you? Speaking of sirens, bro, how do you feel about what's going on with the city? ICE. And you know what? I wanted to ask a question too. If anybody knows, Casey, maybe Casey knows. Why are we just seeing this in Los Angeles? The ICE raids and the protest going so strong. Why is it only Los Angeles? I don't see it going on. Why is it in Texas, bro? Because they done wiped everybody out right there because of the Republican state. I mean,
You didn't see what Steve Bannon said?
No.
He said that he knew that the battle for America was going to start in Los Angeles. You know what I mean? And that's one of his one of the what do they call that motherfucker? The
Republican like mouthpiece or talking head, although
yeah,
he's kind of like a controversial dude.
Yeah, he is, but he's one of his people. He's one of the fucking what do they call the Cheeto Man?
Yeah, MAGA.
A Mega Man.
He's a MAGA man. Yeah.
The Velveeta Voldemort.
Yeah.
One of his people.
Let's do this. Where we at right now? Hey, let's do some ads and we're gonna get into the upbringing of DJFM. Casey, let's run some ads, bro. Well, let's take a break, bro. You guys use the restroom, anything like that, let's take a break. We're gonna be right back with DJFM.
Got you guys. Here we are, baby. Shockaware. It's more than a culture of lifestyle, individuality, and self-expression through clothes. We need you to go to shockaware.com and use code HoodStocks15. That's code HoodStocks15, all right? Check out shockaware.com. I'm telling y'all. Looking for some good quality cannabis? I mean, killer quality cannabis. Hit up the folks at Killakush. They got everything bringing you the best from OG to exotic. They got it all, baby. Hit them up at killakushcali@gmail.com or on Instagram, killakush.losangeles, all right? Or you can hit them up at Drip Fits Apparel in the city of Whittier, all right, for the latest Killakush merch and Hoodstocks merch, located at 13800 Leffingwell Road, Whittier, California, all right? Check this out. Oh, where'd it go? Hey, who took my honey pack right here? I need that.
Right here, baby girl.
Where is it at? Where's my honey pack at? I need that tonight. Where's my shit? Give me that shit, PJ, dude. You need 3, dude, not just 1.
Fuck it, give me 3.
All right, check this out, guys. Here we are. We got Blue Magic Honey. This is Blue Magic Honey by Real Honey Packs, right? That's Real Honey Packs on Instagram, all right? As you know, it'll make it harder than it's been in a while. And even if you think you don't need it, like PJ, it'll add that extra all right, on them special nights. So if you're off a honey pack, you'll be all right. So shout out to them, man. Go check them out. Real Honey Pack, baby. Let me move on to the next. Alley Peptides has all your weight loss needs, including Ozempic, Mounjaro, and their own proprietary pen that comes with a money-back guarantee. I also heard the FDRT. Tap in with Ozempic Vince to answer all your questions. You can hit them up at 714-269-1900. That's 714-269-1900. Call in all bakers and chefs. Upgrade your kitchen with Origin Bakery restaurant equipment. I'm telling you, they got top quality ovens, mixers, and more at unbeatable prices. Perfect for your next culinary creation, right? So visit Origin today in the city of South El Monte or check them out online. Origin Bakery Equipment. The number to call is 626-579-3580. All right. Shout out to D. Leo the Jeweler. Call him or text him right now. That D.Leo the Jeweler on Instagram, or you could text him 323-899-0001. I'm telling you, that dude's showing you exactly what it takes to run a jewelry business in downtown LA. His IG is really cool, man. Go check it out. Buy, sell, or trade gold. D.Leo the Jeweler. All right. Shout out to the piping company, plumbing, piping, and service. All right. The number is 714-468-2828. Or on Instagram, at The Piping Co. That's at The Piping Co. Shout out to the criminal defense attorney, Doug Sherrod. You can reach him at KingKongLawyer.com. That's KingKongLawyer.com. Doug Sherrod, and we're still waiting on the update of Lucky's using him for his fender bender, all right? And Lucky's going to tell us a story about that. Maybe, maybe not today. maybe you'll get on another episode. But hey, KingKongLawyer.com. And the last ad is Lux Tattoo, man. Shout out to Lux Tattoo. He's been doing some firework. He did some firework on Lucky plenty times. That's at LUXX_tattoos, right? And hey, don't forget 50racks.com for all the new Hood Stocks merch.
Absolutely. And speaking of 50racks.com, throw it over to me real quick. I got a t-shirt for you, my dog. Hey, we got large to 4X, www.50racks.com. That's for you, my boy.
Word, appreciate that.
Absolutely, brother. And Casey, put the camera back on you, bro, please, sir. What's up with that fit right there, bro? You know what I mean?
Wait a minute, this is everyday fit.
What 8-year-old man did you rob for those clothes,
I'm
bro?
always rocking this. I'm always rocking this, man.
Where do you
this
buy
is a
those?
uniform.
Do you shop at the Salvation Army? I mean, where do you get these clothes at, bro?
Well, the sweaters I definitely have to curate. I have to find myself. That's kind of where I could kind of go out and find cool things. But mostly the shirts, I just rock red caps and wear Dickies.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shout out to you, bro. So you had to curate, you had to find. So you do go to thrift stores to find sweaters like that.
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, sweaters, or I hit some different online shops. But I can't give up my sources, dog, or else everybody's gonna, I don't want.
Because everybody's gonna be wearing a grandpa sweater.
So you guys would never get that from me ever.
Oh shit!
You know what? I love this dude. He's one of a kind. He's unique, man, and he is. This is Casey, aka Pepita, aka Stacy, man. You know what I mean? And
AKA Skin Tight.
Skin tight. Skin tight. Yeah, that was recent. That was a recent AKA. And so, Cuzzo, what song do we got right here, bro? We're gonna preview a song right here.
We got Angel Towers in the building, man.
Angel Towers, and who is?
TK Frosty Kid.
We're gonna play a song right here. This is my nephew right here and his group. How can they find him?
Frosty Kid on all platforms.
Frosty the Kid on all platforms. This is my nephew. He is 17 years old. Let's play a song, man.
They tell you all the time what to do, what to think, what to feel. You want to be like a chief, like all those other people?
17 years old. This is his music right here, bro.
Word.
Antonio Montana. And you? What you call yourself?
I'm from L.A. where this shit could get to banging, saying no. Names in the IE do the same, you talking long range, we don't got that type of shame. Get the pistol to his gut or I'ma pop him in his brain. I'm from L.A. where this shit could get to banging, saying no. Names in the IE do the same, you talking long range, we don't got that type of shame. Get the pistol to his gut or I'ma pop him in his brain. I'm from that killer California, I'm the one to run up on you. All black with the strap, ain't no warning, shots just dome you. Angel Towers got the power in the city, get up with me. Hit the shop, I beat his ass and then I drag him down like Whitney. This a fully automatic, trick the button on a semi. Take a trip to Calabasas, ain't no chances, got it with me. I'm a different type of breed, I keep it cold, no ice cream round. Bitch, I'm smoking on gelato, rolling sherbet out the pound. Your obsession with my message, how I'm dissing on they grave. They told him sliding, he went right, but shit just went the other way. Disappeared, he wanted magic, so we gave him David Blaine. This the war, don't give a fuck, the problem solver on his way. If I'm dangerous, you contagious, better hold on that shit right. Finger itching on the trigger, see him, man, he met my pipe. City dancing, Bentley handsome, fuck a star, cause I'm the light. Roller racing, suffocating, fuck the bitch and say goodbye. I'm from A, where this shit could get to banging, saying no. Names in the IE do the same, you talking long range, we don't got that type of shame. Get the pistol to his gut or I'ma pop him in his brain. I'm from L.A. where this shit could get to banging, saying no. Names in the IE do the same, you talking long range, we don't got that type of shame. Get the pistol to his gut or I'ma pop him in his brain. East LA, my pockets hefty, I be rocking shit. You see the clip is sending missiles, talking rocket shit. I'm on a mission, official business, smoking, easing the pain. Trying to kill me, cross the map, but we don't share that shame. I'm trying to get up close and personal, we taking this change. Cause you dissing on the baby, take your life for exchange. I'm the kid that manhandles anyone that got a problem. See him nervous, get to twitching, acting like I already shot him, but I didn't. I got my answers polished and I split him, really did him. I'm trying to break my brother out the system, no permission. Trust me, baby, I've been sliding with precision. Fuck a hobby, baby mother, play fighting with his son. See, he tougher than his daddy, in his family, one of one. Papa scared of Papa G, pass Lil Junior son the gun. Homie killers rock with me, little baby, fuck it up for fun. Trash bag him, gutter baby, with no gun, I make him run. I'm from A. Hey, where the shit could get to
17 years old, man. Killing it, huh? It sound good, huh, folks? Hey, that shit hard. Wait, hold on. What?
I remember him from the event we did with Rucci.
Yeah.
He rocked it. That show did good too.
Yeah.
Word.
And I only had one critique on him, and we talked about it. You know what I mean? And I'm not going to put it on blast, but we talked about it because this is my nephew right here. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I want him less backup vocal, but that's all he had at the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know?
He's 17 though. He's doing good for. I mean, he just started. You know what I mean? And everything they say, what is it? 10,000 hours of some shit to master it, to become a master of it, right?
Yeah.
So who knows how many hours he's on, but
I record myself and everything, you know, like mastering all that. I
Every
learned
day,
everything.
only about
Yeah.
8 to 10 hours a year now, motherfucker. Every day, though.
I learned
What
everything
I think-
from Rich True.
whatever you want to do in this life, you got to focus, master that shit. And, you know, like I said, I didn't do my first gig until I knew I was gonna up to par with the baddest motherfuckers out there. You know what I mean? So I see how, you know, he's doing his homework, and it's just, you know, up and up from there, man. When you're 17, like, that's dope.
No, 100%. Let me play you. You've never heard any of the music that I've done. You want to hear something real quick?
Sure.
Let me play a little something for you real quick,
All
bro.
right.
Yeah, let's play this one right here.
Let the ceremony begin.
Countless battles, I walk with no shadow. Desert in sandal, the ghost with the candle. King of all crowns, rip the rattle off serpents. Blood I thirst, since I am the worst. Follow your footsteps, you have no footprints. I am the surface, you worthless purpose. The moon, the stars, I'm connected to darkness. Heads of marksmen, I've hunted the farthest. Village of troops, Molotov the roofs. Black Sunday service with Holocaust roots. Homo Kabbalah, black magic and balas. These AKs and hollows will leave you forgotten. This bottomless season, you looking for me, Mussolini, Gaddafi, the world cannot stop me. I'm legend, remember me? Gifted since birth, you were delivered in a hearse. Your mother and your father trade your soul for a curse. I'm a soldier, coming at you like a locomotive. Never knew I navigate the culture. Service at the tabernacle potions. The devil made my father live.
Here's one more snippet real quick. This is me and Nate No Face. You ever heard of Nate No Face?
Yeah, I just did a song with him, actually.
Yeah, this is me and Nate No Face right here.
I've been a bad man, yeah, the devil's praying to me, and I help him go and get his way. You kept your word, boy, yeah, the devil said to me.
Nate right there, baby. I love Nate, bro.
Yeah, shout out to Nate. Respect, brother.
Yeah, I can't wait to meet you one day.
Hey, 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 hey.
Emotions out of focus, I'm crawling at my lowest. Feet hit the streets like a high-speed pursuit. I'm wild when I move, burn it to your head, about to tighten up the noose. Bunch of clown faces blowing clouds of the roof. Woof, woof, hooters at the door, now they trying to run up in. I am not a guppy, shark stash everything. Dope in the pussy like a B of A deposit. Baby girl robotic, she gang bang ebonics. Hang with the wolves or you gotta pull your weight. Told the biggest tool, keep one in the chain. This is not a date, dance with the Mex, get your face in the cake.
One more right here. People like this song, and this is the most like commercial song I ever tried to make in my life, bro. Peep this real quick. Quick little snippet, bro. Then we gonna get back to this shit right here.
Can I get a moment of your time? Smoke a little, life's a game of chess. Drugs, guns, hooters got me on the run. Let me shine a little light. Can I get a moment of your time? Smoke a little, life's a game of chess. Drugs, guns, hooters got me on the run. Let me shine a little light. I grew up on the 50s, love my whole city. Got the little ones with me, I ain't going back to prison. House with a yard, I get my own unlocks, I walk my own yard. I'm Figueroa filthy, where I come from, dog, everybody's filthy. Get your hands dirty with them concrete burpees. Beer runs and licks, my heart was made, dog, with every single brick. Legend in my own, I get my little shine on. Got a house loan, I see a hater smiling, broke with a mouth full. Run with my ninjas, used to gun with my ninjas. Used to split top ramen on the hood with my ninjas. Can I get a moment of your time? Smoke a little.
Now you know what my backyard sounds like when I'm back there drinking by myself. My neighbors are like, here we go again. Can I get a moment of your time? Smoke a little, life's a game of motherfuckers are like, here we go again. This motherfucker's drunk as fuck singing that same old goddamn song. Fuck that song.
Yeah, they're either going like this or they're going.
Yeah, man. You know, and you know what, brother? I love music, man.
Word.
You know what I mean? But I wouldn't necessarily say that music loves me.
Why is that? What do you mean?
Well, you know, there's a lot of people that love music, but does music love them? Because so many people, since Eminem, since 90s, bro, everybody and their mama started rapping. And it's even to this day, right? People that shouldn't even be rapping. I was probably one of those dudes that shouldn't even been rapping. I should have started a podcast since back then, but it didn't exist. Because I found my lane right here. I found my voice right here.
Yeah.
Like, we all have a voice, bro. And everybody has a voice. You have a voice, my dog. You listening right now, you have a voice. But you think, since you're a gang member, it should be rap music. Not necessarily, my boy. Learn from me, bro. You know what I mean? My voice was in this podcast game, bro. Your voice could be in a whole, there's so many levels where you can use a voice.
Yeah, look at Everlast, man. That's a great example. He's another one. Shout out to him. He jumps on the Be Real podcast with us as well.
I love that dude, bro.
He's so fucking talented, dog. He picks up the guitar. He's singing. He's playing while he's singing.
What is that? The group that he has?
Whitey Ford.
No, what's the group that he has when he raps, bro? He had
House of Pain.
He had the House of Pain, but then he did something with a couple dudes. Damn, about the album too.
Oh, you're talking about fucking like war porn. What's that shit?
Yes. That's just hard, bro.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Dude, that dude is a lyricist, bro. A sick lyricist. I love that dude, bro.
Yeah.
That dude's
super
a beast.
dope. He's still a beast, yeah.
Multi-talented.
Be Real keeps bragging about some new shit he's working on. So I'm excited to hear it.
Absolutely. Are you in the mix with any of these workings, bro?
Somewhat. I mean, like, at least no face for sure. I just knocked out a track with him. I'm really excited about, man.
Sick.
Wait,
I've produced in my life. I've been able to produce hip hop. I made my name in the hip hop biz, but this joint I'm doing with him is on like some ministry shit.
Oh,
it's like ministry meets Portishead.
Let's go! My girl loves Portishead.
It's
She
literally
introduced
like
me to Portishead.
it's heavy like ministry, and then it just fucking dips out on some fucking. That shit is crazy, dog. It's so dope. I'm excited when he puts that shit out. It's gonna change shit, dude. I ain't never heard nothing like it. I had the beat, and I've been touching it up for a minute, and I thought, who the fuck am I gonna put on this? Because this shit is not hip hop. It's crazy. And when I heard dude, he came to the pod. And did an interview, and I started looking up his music, and I was like, dude, he's so fucking talented. I sent him the beat, and within like, I want to say like a day or two the most, he wrote the sickest shit, and I was just blown away. I'm like, wow, I need to keep working with this guy.
Dude,
yeah.
Nate No Face. Let's talk about Nate No Face real
Yeah,
quick.
man.
So Nate No Face, man, years ago, when I was starting this podcast, I was in a 10 by 10 room out in my house. I started this podcast in my house, bro. I was bringing gangsters through my living room, bro. And then I piled all my girls in one bedroom, and I used the third bedroom as it's a 10 by 10 room as the podcast room, bro. So collectively, my kids have built this platform because they made the early sacrifice, you know what I mean? And mind you, these dudes, and my girls right here, you know what I mean, to just say, yeah, this is real shit. And anyone that knows, yeah, they know it, you know what I mean? I have these, bro, when I'd have these dudes come through my living room, bro, I would make sure that, like, I may not know where they live at, but I knew a bunch of their homies, bro, so I can get at them. You feel me?
Right.
Like, if you came to my crib, bro, and you went sideways, you know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna find you, bro. I'm gonna hunt your ass down, dog. You know what I mean? And I really had to do my homework on a lot of people. So I made a huge sacrifice, a risk, calculated risk in a sense, to bring these cats to my house and start this podcast off. But anyway, so Nate No Face came through, bro. He brought his keyboard. Casey, were you there with Nate No Face? Okay. Because Casey was with me back then too. He pulled up. But anyways, we had so I found him on Fools Gone Wild in the very beginning of Fools Gone Wild I think it was Fools Gone Wild that he did a Fools Gone Wild first put him on.
Yeah.
And then I seen a live show and I was like, bro, I fuck with this dude. This is that raw shit.
Energy.
This is that outside of the box shit. This is nothing that's out right now.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm always looking for in life, bro.
Word.
You know what I mean? Because that's who I am as well, brother. You know what I mean? Abnormal, you know what I mean? But anyway, so he came through and I had him do song by song, bro. Live on the podcast. Me and that dude got so twisted. Shout out to his girl too. She's such a beautiful woman. Val, right? You know, she had to drive him home. They sent me pictures. He was knocked out, fucked up. But we did a live podcast of him doing his songs. And this is when, like, he wasn't even monetizing shit, bro, so I can play all his songs. You feel me?
Early days.
Yeah, the early days type of shit. Like, Nate No Face is the artist. You know what I mean? Like, this dude records probably to this day in his closet, bro. You feel me?
Yeah.
You know, he is an introvert 100%, you know what I mean? And he's a real fucking artist, and I love that dude so much, bro.
Yeah, shout out to him, man.
Yeah. But we need that. Like, we need that music, bro, because the music that's out now, bro.
I'm gonna say this. The climate that we're living in right now, politically and just in America in general, or even around the world, depending on where you are, is fuel for artists to make incredible shit. During these times, people come up with the best fucking music, bro. It's during the hardest times that artists really break through and express themselves in unique and powerful fucking ways. So I'm expecting at least some good fucking music to come out soon, you know? I'm definitely on that shit right now, like harnessing that energy in the studio. I'm definitely trying to express how the fuck I feel through music.
How do you feel about rap pushing out rock music?
I mean, what do you mean, like?
Well, where's rock music at, bro?
Oh, you mean out of the limelight?
Yeah.
I feel you.
Because back in the day, the 90s, we had so many great bands, bro. Like, we can go on and on about all the bands, but then there was the fucking crazy surge of hip-hop. Yeah. Everybody's rapping, and now this is where it's at. Even though now we're at a point now where country music is now taking over.
Yeah, that too. I don't know, you know, rock kind of took a back seat for some reason. I can't explain why, but I know that street music has been on that straight, you know, uprising since the fucking 90s, you know, and it's been nonstop. I know the internet changed a lot of shit, you know, obviously.
Yeah, because anybody can go viral for whatever reason, and then put out,
capitalize on that and put out music. Yeah. No, I feel you. I mean, it's almost like it's more important to have viewers and followers than good music. You know?
What's rap music you listen to right now that's new?
Man, Rock Marciano. There's a lot of the New York cats that I'm following right now that, I mean, if you ever listen to dudes like DJ Eclipse, even Muggs' Soul Assassin show, he features a lot of really dope underground shit. There's still a lot of really good street music out there. You just got to dig.
The album is dope.
You got to dig.
Yeah, salute to DJ Eclipse and Muggs and dudes like that really, they doing a thing on Sirius XM.
That's where it's at.
Yeah, shit's dope.
Okay. DJFM, man. DJFM originates from where?
Originally from Miami. I was born in Jersey, but I grew up as a kid in Florida, Miami, mainly a Cuban community. And then I met Mello back in the early 90s before Cypress put their first record out. And through him, I started coming to LA at a young age and DJing and shit. I landed a radio show right away when I first came out here as a kid on KJLH.
When you say kid, how old are you?
My first time coming out here, I was probably like 15.
Okay.
And right away, I landed a radio show out here on KJLH every Saturday night, 1 hour every Saturday night mix show. And then in Miami, I was DJing like 6 nights a week, mailing out the mix. If I was staying out here, I was mailing the mix to Miami. If I was staying in Miami, I was mailing the mix here. But I was on both coasts simultaneously.
Real quick, bro. You got to explain mailing the mix, bro.
Oh, so I would record the mix, and I literally had to send it in the fucking mail to Miami so they could play it on the radio out there. Because there was no fucking emails back then and shit like that.
Remember the
It's
old
90s.
Remember the old school way. I mean, this is what I was told, but to not pattern love. Thank you for that. But to say your music was yours, you had to certify mail it to yourself and not open up the envelope.
That was one way to copyright your shit or certify that you had it before anyone else, because it had the date and everything on it, you know, and it was stamped by the post office. So it's like a cheating way to.
That was like a hood way, right?
Yeah.
Like a broke way in a sense.
Yeah,
Like,
if you had to pull it out in court, you'd be like, look, Your Honor, this is a sealed envelope. Here's the date. We're about to see that I did this before this person put it out, blah, 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 you know?
that's crazy, huh?
Yeah. But those mixes, I literally was recording them on a reel-to-reel machine. Remember the fucking reel-to-reels?
How do you feel about the sound from reel to reel and then Pro Tools, the digital? I mean, wasn't it a warmer sound with reel to reel?
It was, but I mean, most people can't really tell the difference, you know? As long as you get a good mix, it really isn't that. I don't feel like it's that drastic of a thing. If you're talking about rock and live instrumentation, then yeah, the 3-inch, I mean the half-inch or whatever the fuck it was, that big reel that they used to use at the studio, that thing sounded amazing. I wasn't really recording that much back then. I was learning how to produce, so I really didn't get into the studio till Pro Tools was a thing.
So before we talk about you, what got you into producing this and stuff, who raised you, bro?
I want to say fucking Bomb Squad was my.
No, who raised you? Did you
What do you mean?
moms
Like,
and pops, bro?
I thought you were talking about beats and shit. You talking about my family upbringing?
Yeah, your family upbringing.
My mom's.
Yeah.
Like my pops. I barely knew him. I seen him maybe a handful of times my whole life.
Did that affect you throughout your childhood?
Nah, cause my mom didn't want me either. She fucking dropped me off at a boarding school and fucking left my ass there. So I grew up by myself. Streets raised me, bro.
Why didn't she want you, bro?
I don't think that she didn't want me. I think she just couldn't handle me because I was a bad kid. I was rough. I was super hyper. I never got into like legal trouble, but I was always getting into like problems at school, you know. So eventually, she being a single woman, she couldn't handle that shit. And I had an aunt who was a wealthy aunt. She had money. And she was like, all right, I'll pay for a boarding school. And they just shipped my ass out. They tried military school first with me, and that shit didn't work. I was still fucking up. And then they sent me to boarding school. I watched my mom's like, later. She just bounced. I was living with strangers like a fucking orphanage or some shit.
How old were you went to boarding school? And what is the boarding school life like?
Well, I mean, as far as I knew, I thought it was a summer camp, and I seen all the kids go there in the summer, and I started in the summertime, so I thought, oh, we're going to summer camp. And then when all the summer kids left, I stayed along with like a handful of motherfuckers that lived there all year round.
Did that break your heart, bro?
Yeah, well, the toughest part was watching my mom drive away and realizing like, oh shit, I'm here with strangers. I don't know any of these fucking people, you know, but whatever, it shit made me tough.
Did it make you, because you had to be tough?
Yeah, hell yeah.
You had to man up as a young
hell
child.
Yeah, it was my first time experiencing racism and all kind of shit.
And how did you experience racism? Was there racism within that boarding school?
Yeah, there was this little Nazi kid who claimed to be a Nazi, and I bunked with this Colombian kid, and me and him agreed that we were going to approach the white kid about him bullying this little black kid who's, I want to say the kid, he was like a toddler. He was like 7 years old, and the Nazi dude was in his teens. And me and the Colombian kid cornered him, and I was like, listen, if you hurt that little boy, me and the Colombian kid are going to get you in your sleep.
Yeah.
You understand me?
Yeah.
We sleep in the same dorm, bro. And when he's asleep, I'm awake, and vice versa. So when you go to sleep, one of us is going to get you. So you leave that little boy alone, because he was bullying the little kid, and we saw that shit, and it just pissed me off, bro. I had never seen racism before, dog. Where I grew up in Miami, it was mostly Cuban community, so everybody treated each other like family and shit, you know what I mean? And, you know, there was black Cubans, white Cubans, they're so mixed that I saw everything, and everybody was cool. I didn't experience racism until I went there, and I was like, what the fuck?
And so
yeah, it was a different experience to go to boarding school for sure. Shit was tough.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like a little jail and shit for kids, yeah.
100%, bro. Yeah.
Word.
Man. I'm sorry you had to go through that, brother.
Nah, I thought it was cool because it was like for rich kids. I told you my aunt had money, so they had like horseback riding and swimming and camping and all this shit.
I take that apology back.
I wasn't roughing it either, you know.
So you were riding horses?
Yeah, I literally, dog. I know how to. I learned through that fucking rich ass school how to hoof them, feed them, groom them, fucking ride them in shows, all that shit. I know horses, dog. I don't know no city dudes like me.
Are horses smarter than dogs?
Hell yeah, and they remember shit. They're not like dogs that will forgive you. Them motherfuckers will stay mad at you, bro.
So yeah,
they're like, fuck this guy. I remember you.
We've never had this conversation about horses, bro. Tell me about horses, brother. What you learned about horses, bro?
They're beautiful. They're pretty much like a dog. They're gonna love you and treat you the same way a dog would. They'll follow you around. They'll show you love. They're affectionate. They have different personalities, just like dogs too. Some of them are friendly. Some of them are not. But at the end of the day, I think that's the difference between a dog and a horse is that horses be remembering shit. They're smart as fuck.
They hold grudges.
They hold grudges.
They
bro.
might be Mexican, huh? Because Mexicans hold grudges, bro.
Shit.
You know what? So at the same time, there was a silver lining within your predicament, right?
Yeah, and I was grateful. I always find the silver lining, brother. There's got to be something. You got to make the best of everything, no matter what you got. You know what I mean? So,
what was one of the toughest times of your life? Was it during boarding school? Where did you really feel? Because I think some of the greatest artists, the greatest musicians, and it can be anywhere in the spectrum or anywhere in the line of the musical environment, right? You know what I mean? They've had dark times, and you are badass. Excuse me, sir. You're a badass DJ, bro. You know what I mean? And there's something that there's luggage that comes with that greatness.
I feel you.
You know, when was one of the darkest times of your life?
I've been through many things, man. In the dark times in my life, I have to be grateful that it hasn't been a consistent down. It's been like a roller coaster, you know. I have that. It's like a checkerboard. I step in one color, then the other color. It's too good, bad, good, bad. It's always been a fair balance for me. One of the toughest times has been jail. I've been to jail, you know what I mean?
What'd you go to jail for, bro?
Attempted murder.
Speak on that. Could you speak on that? It's past, right?
It's not completely past, but
yeah, there's always
past enough. Yeah. You know what I mean? To be honest with you.
Don't incriminate yourself.
To be honest with you, I did not deserve that shit. Honestly.
Where did you get arrested for attempted murder?
I feel like this racist cop really had it out for me, and he did everything he could to find a way to put that shit on me, but I did not deserve that, bro. I know for sure that I didn't. And anybody who knows me knows that I didn't.
How old are you when you went away for attempted
This was
murder?
recently, bro. This was in 2022.
What the fuck, bro?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
2022.
There was kids in there with Psycho World tattoos and fucking gas mask stickers on the wall in the cell next to me and shit. For real, dog. Yeah, no, I was living that shit. They tried to put me away, and I knew it was on some racist shit. I watched it all come together, dog. They went into my storage unit, broke all my kids' toys, smashed my mother's paintings. Like, they were dirty fucking cops, bro. I don't care if they hear me.
You had an X on your back, and why do you think you had that X on your back for these dudes to go above and beyond to try to take you down?
I never understood why, but obviously, you know, the minute that they had an opportunity, I feel like that when they saw my name, I have a very ethnic name, and the minute they saw that, they didn't even have to see me, bro. They just went after me. And it's crazy because the way they took me down, they ended up putting like a $500,000 warrant on my head. And I was like, $500,000? I ain't never even been to jail, bro. The fuck you talking about? You know what I mean? That's like something you put on a mass killer or some shit. And you over here putting that shit on me like I ain't never even been to jail. Like, I knew from the top. Even my lawyer was like, oh yeah, this cop has it out for you, bro.
What cities is he?
This was Costa Mesa. So whatever, dog. I live and I learn, and I think God put me in there for many reasons. I learned a shitload of shit in there, dog. Like, I met good people, bad people, crazy people, and I ended up learning a lot of shit about myself. Because, you know, I always wonder, what are you going to be like in there, you know? Because let me tell you something. There's a big difference between going to jail knowing that you have a release date and going to jail being told that you ain't never going to get out or you're going to die in there. Jeez. And they were giving me 25 to life. You know what I mean? I was, at my age, I'm like, I would have died in there or came out an old man. So I knew. I was like, it got to a point where I was like, all right, this is it. What are we going to do? We're going to just fucking lay here and be fucking half dead, or we're going to do something in here? And I started doing shit in there.
What did you start doing then?
More than anything, what I felt was the most positive thing I got to do in there was I said the prayer every night. You know what I mean? For my group, the group that I was in, you know, everybody got to pick a group when you go in. Being that I'm of many different things, I had options to go in whatever group. I'm not going to say more than that, but when I chose my group, I was made a part of that shit respectfully to the point where, you know, I could take it easy in there. People treated me with respect, and, you know, it wasn't that hard, honestly. I know a lot of people had it worse than that. But I think every night I got up and I said that prayer out loud, and that was the only moment that in that jail when everybody shut the fuck up. Everything went silent, and then everybody repeated after me. And that shit was powerful and crazy at the same time. But I told Sendog that story, and he was like, fuck yeah, fuck yeah. He was like, yeah, nigga, I'm glad, dog. I'm glad, I'm happy that you fucking brought something good to them motherfuckers, because people need it. And people would come up to me, dog, in the daytime and be like, yo, thank you, bro. Like, I was kind of losing it for a minute, and you brought me back to God. I appreciate you. And they're just, you know, cool. And I'm not even like a religious person like that. It's just something I felt like I was there to do, and I did it every night.
I think when you do time, you become a part of a tribe. You become a part of a tribe that understands freedom a whole lot deeper than others. You know what I mean? So when you got mayors talking about this, that, and the other, when you got certain individuals talking about where the gangsters at.
Yeah.
Well, the gangsters understand what it is to be locked in a cage. And if you're ever locked in a cage, you're gonna be a little more calculated in life, unless you're fucking on a sick one.
No, for sure. Yeah, I came out looking at everything different. I didn't even think I was gonna get out of there. You know what I mean? I don't know how the fuck it happened, but I'm here and I'm grateful. I feel like he was like, all right, you learned what you had to learn. Let's move on.
Losing your freedom is just crazy, bro.
Oh, yeah. That feeling.
You know what I mean? Where you're no longer in control of anything. When you can shower, when you can shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're no longer in control. And a lot of people shit on the gangsters about this, that, and the other, but they have a deeper thought in regards to when it comes to committing a crime, doing the time, serving the time, being locked in a cage. And so they gotta, you know, depending on their circumstances, they have to think methodically about it, you know, on every move that they're gonna make, you know. I honestly, I think that everybody at one point in their life should be put in a fucking box, bro, locked up, so they can understand what they really have. Because we are living in a society of spoiled Americans. We are living in a society of Americans that hate their country, you know? And everybody, I'm not trying to tell you what to think and how to feel, and I get it, bro. Shit's not perfect, but at the end of the day, this country is the best country you can ever fucking live in, you know? And if you don't like it, you can easily move to China, Russia, Mexico, et cetera, and get a feel for something else, you know what I mean? And I probably 9 times out of 10, I guarantee you that
they're gonna deport you because they got strict immigration laws.
They'll want to that too, and they'll want to come back, bro. They'll want to come back to a land that
they thought was this, that, and the other, which it is, right? It is. It's a flawed system, 100%.
I was about to say, I have a friend, shout out to the homie, People Mover, this DJ homie friend of mine, Mike, him and his family just moved out to Mexico. He just sent us like a group message to all the DJ homies and shit, our crew. Like, yo, we out here. Thanks to everybody, blah, blah. This, wish us luck. I'm thinking, wow, this guy really did it, man. He took his family, moved everything they had down there and did the big switch. But like you said, let's see what happens. I wish him the best, but for me, I ain't going nowhere, bro. I'd rather stay here and fight, for what I know is right. And yeah, it ain't perfect.
You ever heard of the rapper Brown Lucci?
Yeah, that's the homie. Fuck yeah.
That's the homie, right?
He's cool as fuck.
We did episode 1. Hoodstock started with Brown Lucci's episode 1.
Oh,
That's my boy right there.
Good dude, man. Shout out to him.
Brown, yeah, right? Yeah. Brown Lucci, lucky looks sober. Thank you. I'm not though, but anyways. Brown Lucci, I'm not gonna say he's self-deported because he's an American citizen, but what he wanted to do is Brown Lucci is a deep thinker.
Oh yeah, he's out there.
Yeah, he's a deep thinker, and what he wanted to do is he wanted to remove himself from the American society, and he moved to Mexico.
That's right.
And he is living his best life as American citizen in Mexico. Maybe he's got dual citizenship. I don't know exactly his status in regards to everything, but he has come back on the podcast and shared his life living in Mexico, and he said it's absolutely amazing. It's a simpler life. He talks about going and getting shaved salt, bro, for his food. You know what I mean? He talks about the simpler things in life living in Mexico City, And so it's not all that bad. I think when I hear him talk about it, I'm just like, bro, maybe one day I may want a simpler life.
But it's not. It can't be for everybody.
It can't be for everybody.
I'm sure everybody has a different perspective of shit. You know what I'm saying? Depending on how you grew up and what you like. I think for me it'd be hard, man. Like I've traveled the world. I've seen the world. Only place maybe would be, like I said, Japan. But
what is the hardest country that you've been at and been like, damn, fuck all that?
Well, that is rough.
Yeah, it's rough.
We've played everywhere in Mexico. Jack and Duke are Mexican brothers that are loved down there in a big way, man. So we've seen every corner of that country, and we're talking from like big city shit to like somewhere in the woods, in the middle of nowhere. We've seen it all.
And not everybody can do that, right?
Oh fuck no. Those are places that most people don't even go. That's another thing. We've seen places that most tourists will never see. From there to fucking even in Europe, there's places like that. But getting back to what you said, I want to say Brazil. Parts of Brazil are fucking scary. Like they could disappear your ass easily out there. Certain Chile también. Chile is fucking rough too. It has some really rough parts.
You guys ever gone to El Salvador?
No, we never. I don't think we ever done El Salvador. I don't remember. Maybe Jack and them did before me or after, but
yeah.
Personally, I don't remember ever doing that. We did Venezuela, Ecuador, Peru, Chile, Colombia, just a bunch of them, but not.
When you go to Brazil, and you said people could disappear yourself real quick. Obviously, you guys were put up on a little bit of game before you went out that way. Is there a game plan when you brothers are going out that way? Do you guys are talking about it? Do you guys have to be connected with certain individuals to get the pass?
To be honest with you, usually the people that bring us out are well connected.
Yeah.
And they know either whether to take us there or not, or somebody from there, so they're protected. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And usually that's what they try to do. They're like, we're going to show you the hood. You know what I mean? But you're safe with us because we're hood. This is our neighborhood. This is where we grew up. We've made money. We moved out, but this is still our people. And it's all going to be all right when you come with us, So we get shown all kinds of shit. You can't even imagine. Rich people will never set foot at nothing like that. No matter how much money you got, they'll never see those parts of the world. Yeah.
That's the power of Psycho Realm.
Yeah, man. There's a really cool place in Denmark called Christiania. And it's like their own world, bro. Their own laws, their own shit, their own sovereign country where the cops don't set foot in there. They don't fuck with them. Somebody try to walk up to me and Be Real sell us a brick of hash and shit in the middle of the street. Like, oh, fucking Be Real. Be Real's like, what the fuck am I going to do? I'm here one day. What am I going to do with a brick of hash? But that kind of thing, you know? Yeah, Christiania. Also, in Rome, for example, there's a place called Forte Prenestino. And it's a fortress. It's been there for centuries. Used to be a Trojan fortress. So underneath it has the jail. It has a moat with a drawbridge. It's a real fucking castle.
It's still standing.
Still standing, but they built a community in there, and it's also its own little sovereign country that the cops don't set foot in. So they have these wild fucking raves, bro. People doing mad drugs and all kind of shit. Nobody's saying nothing. It's fucking crazy in there. I tried opium there for the first time.
How was it?
It was fucking weird. It made me throw up. Like, we were having dinner, and I was like, oh. Yeah, it's crazy. They make their own wine. They grow their own food. They don't even step outside that city. They make everything there. They live in that community and they make everything there. It's a trip. Forte Prenestino. Yeah, shit like that you're gonna see if you're in a group and people like you and they got love, you know, and they understand. Because street is street, you know. They can relate to you in any part of the world. You're a street motherfucker. They know the struggle the same. You know what I mean?
I love that, bro.
Yeah.
I like that, bro. That shit is, you can't put a price on that, huh?
Nah.
Those experiences, those memories.
La calle es la calle.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Like the song says, El mundo es un barrio, homie. That shit that Cynic said in the beginning of the song, that's real shit.
That's amazing that you've been able to experience all those countries and those experiences, man.
I'm very grateful, for sure.
You mind we take some phone calls?
All right, let's do it.
Casey, line up the phone calls. We're going to take phone calls right here with DJFM. What's your relationship with your moms right now? You good?
Yeah, love my moms. Shout out to moms.
What about Pops, bro? You ever have a relationship with him?
He passed away back in, I want to say like 2016. I heard, but yeah, I didn't really get to know him too well, you know. I feel like he was watching after me somehow, trying to make up for time, I guess.
How do you know when someone's watching out for you?
It's just a vibe, a feeling, you know what I mean? Like there's somebody there. And then I start thinking like, who? And it just pops into my head. So I'm not saying it's real, but it just feels that way to me sometimes.
I mean, and what you know about your pops, who was he?
I know that he was a military dude, and when he got out, he was. My mom said he was FBI, I believe.
He was FBI.
Yeah.
For United States.
Yeah, that's what she said. She said he was a government agent.
Wow.
That he worked for the U.S. Yeah.
That's crazy. So he met your mom.
He served in Nam, and then yeah.
That is amazing, bro.
Yeah.
He served in Nam, FBI agent. Probably was just, you know what I mean, doing what these type of dudes do in the sense of, you know, they meet a female and blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
She got pregnant.
He was married. He had a family. He had kids. This motherfucker knocked her up and bounced pretty much.
Did you ever know your siblings?
I met them once.
Yeah.
And that was it. I never seen him again.
Did they look at you like a redheaded stepchild?
They're like, who is this little fucking lunatic? No,
Did you have the mask on?
Yeah, they kept scratching their head like, why is he wearing a fucking mask? It's not even Halloween. What the hell is this? Ain't, you know? Yeah, I was always a weird kid. In a good way, though. My mom, first instrument she gave me was the guitar at 5 years old. I mastered that shit. I was bored. I started putting LEDs inside the speaker that you could make go to the beat and shit.
Yeah.
Literally, I fucking put LEDs inside. I was a fucking nerd. That was my first instrument, was the guitar, and then from there, straight to the turntable.
How is it when you're producing beats?
For me, I'm like a mad scientist, man, because I don't know, I'm obsessive. I don't know if it's ADHD or whatever the fuck I got, but I'll start making music, and the way I do it is I'll start with one sound, something that I really feel is prominent or powerful, and then I'll build everything around that. Whatever I feel that fits that, and then whatever fits that, and and by the time I'm done, sometimes I'm like, oh shit, it's daylight outside. I can't even tell if the sun's going up or down. Time is like paused for a second.
Is there any religion behind it?
No, not necessarily. I just,
behind your soul, behind you. What powers you?
Religion, you mean? Do I have a religion, you asking me?
Yeah. What keeps you going from day to day, right?
I don't have
you got to believe in something, right?
I believe in God. I believe in one infinite, benevolent being. I believe that there's only one God, one creator, and I believe that we're all connected to it in a way. Almost like we are an extension of him experiencing life through all these different eyes and experiences, right? He's kind of like, I want to be you, I want to be that guy, I want to be this guy, I want to be her, I want to be that poster, I want to be this Kurt, I want to be a little bit of everything. God is in everything. And I feel like that's the connection. When you die, I think we go back to that source before we break up again into some other shit.
Yeah, no, for sure. Are you scared of death?
Nah, I'm ready. I'm going home.
Going home.
I ain't worried about nothing. Whatever's after that is a part of me.
When you're going home, is there any particular soul you want to see?
My grandmother. When I was locked up, because when you smoke bud on the regular, you don't really dream and shit, right? As soon as you go to jail, you start smoking weed, you be having crazy ass dreams. And man, one of the most vivid dreams I've ever had was in there about my grandmother. She came and talked to me, and that shit felt so real, dog. I immediately called my mom. I was like, "Yo, I gotta tell you about this dream." She walked me through this house, and then, she came and got me there and walked me out of the jail. It's like I got up out of my bed and walked out of the jail, and walked out with her, and then went to her house, and she told me, like, "You're gonna be all right. This shit's gonna be over in like 3 months. Just keep doing what you're doing."
So you do believe in an afterlife?
I do. I think there's something. I can't explain it because I don't like making decisions about that kind of thing, being that I'm not there and I don't really have a religion like that I believe in to say, this is exactly what's going to happen. I feel like it's hard to gauge that, being that I've never been there, or maybe I don't remember. But I do feel like there's more. There's definitely something else after this.
I remember when my grandpa Johnny died in my grandmother's house. She had the old school TVs in all the rooms, with the knobs.
Static and shit.
Yeah. And sometimes, and it was crazy because when you turn these old school TVs off, bro, you can turn them off and then boom, like you would hear the power actually exiting the TV. You know what I mean? It was just like a draw of power, Yeah. and sometimes in my grandmother's house back then, when my grandpa Johnny died, we would be in these rooms in my grandmother's house, and these TVs out of nowhere would boom turn off.
Shake the keys.
Remember that though?
Every time you shake the keys in the kitchen, the TV in the living room would turn on.
Oh shit!
Am I bullshitting, cuz, or what? Yeah, it's real shit. Yeah, real shit. So my mom and his mom are sisters. I mean, it's my blood cousin. Grew up together. Shout out to all my cousins. Shout out to my cousin Nick. Shout out to my cousin Alex, and then we got my cousin PJ right here.
So you felt their presence was still around?
Well, my grandma we would always just be like, whoop, you know what I mean? Because we're all kids, bro.
Yeah.
We were just like, oh shit, what the fuck? And so we would always, I don't know if it was from my grandma that my grandma would say that's Grandpa Johnny. And my Grandpa Johnny he wasn't like, he was my grandpa from my grandma being married to a new dude. He wasn't my mom's dad or my cousin's dad. But he was our Grandpa Johnny. And I remember my grandma was so tough on him. But he was so sweet to us. I remember I'd be on the porch and he would give us apples. But what he would do when he gave us the apples is he would peel the skin off the apples. You know what I mean? And he was a postal service.
Just a kind soul.
He was a kind man. And my grandma was a very aggressive Mexican woman. You know what I mean?
So you feel
she was always yelling at him.
So you're saying you feel that his presence stayed there, that kind soul kind of vibe, energy. You know what I was gonna say about the television? I have a theory about that. It's a similar concept about that. Those tube TVs, when you would turn them off, if there was a person standing there or a building or whatever, when you would turn them off, the silhouette would kind of stay.
Yes.
And then it would fade out.
Yes.
I feel like our souls leave that presence here. If your dad or your mom has a chair that they always sit in, a place where they always stand or do something at, when they're gone, their presence kind of remains there like that silhouette in the TV until it eventually fades. A part of us remains here, I believe. Those are the ghosts we run into.
100%.
Part of them.
And to this day, when I pray, I pray to God and I pray to the people that have passed, you know, because I feel like they're still there and they're still listening.
Yeah.
My sister, my little sister that was a year younger than me passed of cancer, and I always pray to her and tell her that I love her. Her name's Jessica, you know what I mean? And oh my God, I love that girl so much. I mean, but I think one of my, I'm not trying to I want to say this. I think one of my greatest things that I do in life is I pray for people that have passed, and I talk to them in my prayer. Some people just pray to God and talk to God. I talk to the people that have passed in my life that have been very impactful in my life.
Yeah.
And I said, hey, I love you and hope you're doing good. And you know, when we see each other, we see each other.
I believe they hear it. I believe it.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know how to explain it, but I feel like they stick around long enough to hear it all. You know what I mean?
I mean, if
our time might be different. What might be a few years for you might be a day or wherever this person is in that other place. You know what I mean? And they have their limited time there to hear these things from their loved ones. I'm pretty sure they're going to stick around to hear that.
You know, I think what we all search for is we all search for like what we're going to leave behind us, and that's important. And maybe some of us don't look upon that as important as they should, you know? Right. Even in regular dudes, like you ain't got to have a podcast, you ain't got to be a rapper, you know what I mean? You gotta have, like, memories are huge, you know? So my memories growing up were kind of a little bit of fucked up, and so now I think about that with my kids, and I want them to have good memories.
That's what I was going to say. The things we instill in our friends, loved ones, and especially our children is the biggest influence any man could have in this world. You know what I mean? Because that's the next generation. You're molding that kid ain't always going to be a kid. You're molding an adult.
So when
adult.
Yeah, when I got with my girl, you know, I don't want to tell the ins and outs of it, but I ended up living with her. And her grandfather was what raised my girl. His name is Charles Sipe, and he had such an impactful. He was very impactful in my life in regards to what it is to be a man, and what it is to grow your kids unconditionally, in a sense. You know what I mean? And he was a savage of a dude, and then people are like, "Fool, you lucky you didn't meet him back in the day, because he would have not fucked with you."
Oh shit!
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, bro, like the impactfulness. Excuse my lack of terminology. You know what I mean? But it is very important it is very important on what we pass forward, you know, to our future, to our kids, because they're never gonna forget that.
Yeah.
If you're a fucking asshole, they're never gonna forget that, bro. If you were hard on them, strict, but you try to teach them shit, they hated it then, but they'll respect it later.
Yeah.
You know? Legacy is fucking huge, bro. I mean, so I say that to everybody else, you know what I mean? Take care of your people, man.
Yeah.
Show them right. Impact them in a positive way, not in a negative way. But sometimes I think it's a negative way, but it's really a positive way, because sometimes as you're young, you don't want to hear certain things, you know?
Yeah. Oh, that's for sure. I definitely wasn't listening when I was young. I didn't want to hear shit. I thought I knew it all.
Absolutely. So what are you doing now, bro? How are you? What do you got going on?
The most exciting thing, for me, I love my family time. Like I said, like I'm not touring. I'm enjoying that shit, being around. I DJ locally at the rarest shit. Me and a couple other homies, we get to spin at these different sesh events around the city. Right now it's in Wilmington. We do it a couple times a week. I'm rocking there every Friday right now. I do the Be Real TV thing a couple days a week. I'm on the podcast with B and them.
Bro, would you
and I'm in the mix with them.
Do me a favor and send Be Real my love.
He told me he hates you, bro. He was like, "Fuck that." No, I'm just kidding. I haven't talked to him. I have not. I haven't even seen him. He's on tour actually. He doesn't get back. I think next week or something. But yeah, his fucking eyes were like, "Oh shit, what did I do?"
I'm gonna pee real quick, bro.
Lucky was so sad, dog. The fool was like,
I
fuck.
thought I saw tears. I was like, "What the fuck?" He's like, "No,
He's
what did I do?"
he's going to the bathroom to go cry, dog. That's where he's going, fool. He's not going to pee, dog.
have to get tissue.
Oh damn, what did I do?
It broke his heart, man.
No, man, I haven't. B's actually been on the road right now. They were in Europe. I just seen they were in Lyon, France.
Sick.
Shout out to B Rizzy.
So you're spinning in Wilmington. You're on the Be Real. What else you got going on?
Well, in the background, I'm producing. Like I'm expanding my shit. Like I said, I'm dabbling in other genres, rock, hip hop, all kinds of shit. But this album that I'm working on right now is kind of like how Muggs did his Soul Assassins album,
hard, bro.
featuring his beats with a bunch of different people.
Yeah,
that's what I want to do. But I don't want to limit it to hip hop. I want to do any and every genre, whatever fits that particular artist. I'm gonna vibe with them, create something magical, and try to, you know what I mean? I got right now Bobo. I sent him something I wanted him to play percussions on, and I'm hoping to get B and maybe, you know, send, God willing. I'm putting it out there. But yeah, you know. So I got different people. Like I said, I worked with Nate. Nate was the first one I got down with on this album. Man, I'm excited about it, man. I've been calling it the American Bastards.
The American Bastards.
Yeah, Tab.
The American Bastards.
Yeah, so you know what I mean. We're the children of this country, but we not loved. We being kicked out.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah. Someone in the chat keeps asking if you ever made beats like on any hallucinogens or psychedelics.
Actually, the only album that I made featuring my beats like that has been the Street Mixes. It's called Street Mixes Volume 1, and I only did one. And I spent like 8 months fucking on and off shrooms making that album. And 14 seconds into that album, it syncs up with the movie Apocalypse Now Redo.
Wow.
You can connect the two and they literally go together. And I don't mean like kind of sounds cool, goes with it. I mean, like you're hearing helicopters pan from ear to ear as they go across the screen. It's very detailed.
Holy shit.
Yeah, that shrooms will do that.
Love shrooms.
Yeah. You know, so yeah, that's the only time I really went like mad scientist on them. You know? You gonna give me some of that blue honey shit? What the hell is that, bro?
Yeah.
Damn.
You heard of that shit? You heard of that shit, though?
No, what is it? No, it's a papalo for the fucking...
Yeah.
Wow, bro.
Yeah, we're sponsored by Rose.
Blueberry flavored too.
Hell yeah, dude. Got
That's
real blueberry extract.
Oh shit, somebody gonna have a good time.
Do you not have a significant other right now?
I have many significant others.
That's right. My G.
Friends, of course. That's what I'm talking about.
Absolutely, with benefits.
But you know, I that kind of shit is the only thing I've never discussed or nothing. But I've never been married, that's for sure.
Why not? You got kids?
I do have kids. That's my world, bro. Like, I love the fact that my kids are fucking funny as shit like me, bro. I have a blast. Like, my 7 and my 9-year-old, bro, we're laughing the whole time, dog. It's freaking comedy, dog.
How 7-year-old and 9-year-old female? Male?
Girls, yeah.
Bro, let's go.
Yeah, I'm a girl there.
I got an 8 and 9-year-old girls, bro.
Oh my god,
bro, they bees, bro.
Yeah.
They just like got me on check, bro.
But my little ones, bro, I be having a blast with them. They're funny as shit. I was discussing right now before when you were in the bathroom about all this shit I'm doing, and I'm like, yeah, but you know, dad time is like my funnest time. Honestly, like I love music, I love all that, but my time with my kids is everything, bro.
Yeah, I'm gonna take this week off, and go with my kids, bro. And the plan is to just turn my phone the fuck off. Bro.
Yeah,
you feel me?
Just have fun with them.
Yeah, because I am like a slave to my phone, bro. Because I got the ADHD and everything else. I'm very impulsive, and I just want, sometimes. Once you reach a certain level, you know what I mean? You just keep on wanting to push the limit, and the limit is numbers. Let's get this phone call right here.
I'll tell you what, real quick, before you do that. I look at success in life this way, and I tell people this a lot, and I'm like, look, if you focus.
Hey, what's up, Lucky?
Hold on a second. Let homie
if you focus and really go for your dream, you're going to have to make some sacrifices. There's going to be times that you're going to have to put the family aside. There's going to be times that you're going to have to skip out on fun shit that you wanted to do. But if you dedicate that time to it that goes beyond what a normal motherfucker would do, you're entering now in the zone, that small ratio of success stories. You know what I mean?
I'm a maniac, bro.
So yeah, it gets hard to gauge that. Sometimes you get so busy with work, you're like so focused, you want to make so much shit happen that you lose track of the fam and everything, and then you gotta like pause, say, all right, now I definitely need a vacation.
This week I'm doing that,
bro. I mean, I feel you.
Hey, you're on Hood Stocks. You got DJFM. Talk to him, my dog.
You.
Hey, what up, Lucky?
What's up, my boys? What's your name? Where you calling from?
What up, man? My name is Big A from San Marcos, San Diego, homie.
San Diego in the house, baby. Let's go.
What up?
Hey, dog, I had a question for you, Lucky, real quick, homie.
Shoot it.
Hey, dog, honestly, homie, like, I don't feel right talking about this today, but I'm like questioning my sexuality, Like,
it's okay, bro. It's okay. You don't.
Lucky's been there plenty of times.
Bro, check it out, bro. It's okay because there's one other dude besides me that's been through that. It's Casey, bro. You're questioning. No, bro, it's okay. You don't know if you like dick or if you want to get it in the ass, bro. Or I think that's the same thing.
See, homie. Well, see, that's the thing. I was with my homie the other day, and like, we were in the just in the public bathroom. I happened to look over on my left, homie. He had a big old dong, dog. So I'm like, hey. Hey, but after this though, Lucky, does that make me gay though? For real, dog.
Fuck yeah, bro.
No, I'm being serious, homie.
Well, bro, there's a lot of people that call me gay, bro, but I'm still a virgin, bro. So, until your wound gets punctured.
Okay, so I'm good then, homie. I'm good then.
You might be all right, bro. Are you representing for all San Diego?
Yeah, that's good. I just had that. You know what I'm saying?
No, you're not.
But thank you.
You're a fool, bro. I know you fucking with us, bro. Get the fuck out of here.
I was like, what the fuck? Holy shit. Oh, man. He gonna get that shit off right here. Yo. That's when I bust out the coño.
Bro, that's why I love
What
these
the
dudes.
fuck?
These dudes are maniacs, bro. Bro, the homies, check it out. You guys want motherfuckers, you guys really want these dudes to fight ICE? Bro, the homies are the biggest assholes in the world, bro. The homies are the biggest assholes in the world, bro. Yeah, I mean,
He was trying hard not to laugh. You can tell he was about to bust it. Oh shit!
Top of the morning.
Top of the morning. Man, bro.
Oh damn!
We got one phone call, and that was that phone call.
Here, give this to your boy.
Hell no, he don't need that, bro. He needs some baby oil.
Oh damn!
Where we at right here? Hey, this has been good, brother.
Appreciate that, man. It's been fun. Word up.
Yeah, you know, you guys don't. I mean, in general, there's some cats that don't do a lot of interviews. You don't do a lot of interviews, huh?
Not really, no.
Appreciate you, bro. This has been solid, bro. And I hope this, it's hood stocks, bro. So sometimes we hope that it raises individual stocks up. You know what I mean? And here and it was so crazy, bro. And I was so disappointed in the sense of this, bro. When I posted your thing on Instagram, bro, I thought that it would get like crazy amount of likes, but it made me realize the generation that we live in.
Oh, it's a new generation, yeah.
It's a new generation that doesn't know who you are, bro.
But the views are crazy. The amount of views are bananas. Did you check the views?
No, I didn't check the views.
Yeah. A lot of people seen it, you know what I mean? But, they probably don't even know who the fuck I am. They're like, who's this guy? They were on here earlier. They were like, is that fucking ICE? Like, a lot of people, it's a different era. You know what I mean? We're talking 90s hip-hop, early 2000s.
Where we at in hip-hop, bro?
I have no idea, but I just, like I said earlier, you got to dig for good music. It's not going to come to you, you know what I mean? You got to go online and look for that shit.
Who owns the West Coast?
Damn.
Who has the West Coast on their shoulders? Is it Kendrick?
I think so. I mean,
With one song?
Wait, well, what did you think? What did you think
but I
about
mean, just
with the pedophile song?
I just mean
Nah.
the size of it is just mega. You know what I mean? Like,
Did you like the battle between him and Drake?
that shit was crazy. I give both those dudes their respect. They do what they do. I don't, you know what I mean? Their style of music is their style. You know what I mean? And Kendrick, I thought from the new generation was definitely doing it right. You know, I gave him his props. Like, this dude is at least, really putting in work. He's an MC. You know what I mean? He knows the culture. I feel like he didn't just step in, gain fucking internet popularity, and then put out whatever. Like, the dude really had talent, and I respect that.
Vinny
Drake,
Paz,
I don't really. His music's like just pop, like club shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't really.
Vinny Paz or Moto Technique?
Damn, they're both dope, and they're both homies. Like, I don't really know Vinny Paz like that, but Tech is my boy. But they're just different. You know what I mean? Vinny Paz got more of like a wild fucking style. He's all on some hip hop shit, and Tech has more of the the militant style, talking more conscious and whatnot. But they're both super dope, and that's my style. That's like the kind of hip hop shit I like.
That's like hip hop shit I like too.
Yeah.
Why haven't the younger generation picked up on the older school shit, bro? Or paid homage in the sense of just like trying to like say, hey, you know what? We're new and we can fuck with that. You know what I mean?
There is, Doug. I'm telling you, you gotta check out this mix I do on Be Real TV, because I mean, once in a while I'll stray and I'll do like DJ shit. I'll straight play some like funk or freestyle and get old school on them and whatever. But for the most part, when I'm on there, I'm busting real underground street music, hip hop.
Is there still,
and it's new. It be young ass kids, and young ass. Some of it's old. I'm playing classic shit in there as well, but you'll hear a lot of new cats, unreleased, released, all of that shit that are just super dope, and it's new. And they sound like a group that would have came out in the 90s. The hip hop is raw. The beats are boom bap. It's dark. It's heavy, and the rhyme skill is fucking exceptional. But it's underground music. It's not something you're gonna hear for sure on the radio or nothing like that.
And what are people doing nowadays? Are they doing boom bap? There's
everything. There's everything still out there. You just gotta look, like I said. You know what I mean?
What off
Can't
subject?
go by the radio.
Casey, go ahead and answer your question. I'm sorry, though.
No. I was just saying, obviously commercial hip hop's just so commercial. So of course it's all about materialism. That's in the upfront.
Yeah.
Did you watch the fight last night with Jake Paul and Julio Chavez Jr.?
No. What happened?
He got his ass whooped.
Who's he?
Julio.
No way.
Yeah, Jake Paul beat the fuck out of him, bro.
Not the OG.
What?
Not the OG. Obviously not the OG.
Okay, right.
Yeah, his son.
I didn't even know his son boxed.
Huh?
His son boxes?
Yeah. That was the fight last night.
Oh, wow. I was watching UFC, dog. Come on.
Yeah, and what's his name? Knocked out old boy in first round. No?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, baby.
Are you what do you keep up with, bro? Are you into any sports?
I do like boxing, kickboxing, all that shit. I've taken martial arts, but I sincerely don't watch a lot of sports.
How do you occupy your time from day to day, bro? Like what is outside of music? Like what do you do that's you know what I mean?
I mean, other than that, trying to fucking keep up, physically exercise or whatever. Like I'm literally in the studio, dog, any moment that I can, because my life, literally, when I'm not DJing, I'm with my kids. So if it's not either one of those, I'm in the fucking studio, mad scientist style, like sun up to sundown, bro. I'm obsessed with making beats right now.
You are really you are hip hop.
Well, when it's not that, it's that for one, you probably experienced street life and jail, all that stuff at a young man's age. I experienced that shit recently, so my time in there was like, fuck, I could be making beats right now. And when I got out, I was like, let me at them. Like I couldn't stop. I was like, I'm making up for all that time. I'm getting back on track.
Was it a eye opener in a sense?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Of lost time and what you should have been doing?
Yeah, hell yeah. I'm not fucking around no more. I'm not wasting no time, bro.
Would you like to hook back up with Psycho Realm, Sick Jackin'?
That's family, whatever. I mean,
are you in
I doubt they would ever want to do some shit like that, but if they did, whatever, I'm down. That's still fam, you know what I mean? I mean, it's not going to, obviously, I doubt it'll ever be like a group again or nothing like that. They're still doing that Psycho Realm, but I think it's him and I don't know who the DJ is. We were talking about that earlier, like they have several guys that they use on the road, but it's a whole different crew. And they're still performing. That's why you see Cinco de Mayo still cracking, Psycho de Mayo. So, but if they ask me to come through, I'll come through. I'm down.
What do you think about the ICE raids right now?
Man. Whew, tough subject, bro, because there's a lot I want to say that I know I can't say.
Why? Because you're going to lose fan base?
No, because I'm going to go to jail. Because I'm on probation. Nah, but I mean, seriously, because, they're literally like locking people up for saying certain shit. Not that I give a fuck, but, whatever, when you watch the old mafia movies, remember when the Godfather was having a conversation and his son was there and his son started talking and he told the guy he was doing business, he's like, I'm sorry my son opened his mouth is getting involved in this, and he gets emotional, and I'm trying to teach him not to. I'm trying to think like that now. You know what I mean? The real calculated, smart dudes do their shit calladito.
Sheesh.
You know what I mean? And so I'm trying to think, what are the things I can do to help, to better the shit, to protect people, to be there when they need me, and that's what I'm on, bro. Because I was born here. I know they ain't fucking with me, but I see what they're doing to people, and that shit ain't right. So, I instinctively, it's my nature to protect and just stand there when I know somebody's picking on somebody. I was always that dude. I was a nerd. I wore glasses, and they picked on me. And then I learned martial arts, and I started fighting. I was taught judo first, and then I started fighting in school to defend kids who couldn't fight. All the bullies that were picking on the nerds, now I was picking on the bullies. So that's been me my whole life. And now we know who the bullies are. You know what I'm saying? I'll just leave it at that. You know what I mean?
100%, bro. We know who the bullies are.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's unfortunate, bro.
No, for sure. But it's not always going to be that way. I have hope. I really believe that we're stronger as a people. There's more of us. That's not what everybody fucking wants. The majority don't want that shit. At least not done that fucking way. You know what I mean? Snatching people up that are getting their papers, people who have their papers. What the fuck? They're lying about getting just illegals and all this shit, you know what I mean? And they ain't really going, like that comedian said that I posted his little video. What's his name? Cash something, Cash Comedy, some shit. He was like, yeah, they ain't really going after the bad guys because at least one of them would have, there would have been some incident already, and there hasn't. So they're obviously not going after those people. They're going after fucking hardworking people who are minding their business, been here for years, not getting into no trouble. You know what I mean? So that shit ain't cool.
You know what I was thinking about it in like hindsight? I was thinking about this, guys.
It's not over.
Huh?
It's not over.
What do you mean it's not over?
In hindsight.
Yeah, in hindsight it's never over. But in hindsight you can reflect, right?
But it's not over. It's ongoing.
Always
so it's current.
Yeah, in hindsight. Well, when I say in hindsight, yeah. In this particular situation, yes, Casey. I remember back in the day, like it was an ongoing thing with the homies that we yell out, La Migra.
Yeah.
La Migra. You know what I mean? To get motherfuckers to scatter. And that's just fucked up, bro.
Yeah.
In hindsight, that's just fucked up, bro.
Mm-hmm,
because
real shit.
La Migra now is ICE.
Yeah.
You know? And now as a grown dude, bro, that's raising a family and that has neighbors. I'm third generation both sides, bro.
Damn, you're snitching them out, dude.
Huh?
You're snitching your neighbors out. You already...
No, back in the no, shut the fuck up, bro, with snitching, bro. I'm gonna PJ smack him, bro.
Go ahead, do it.
Thank you, PJ. Yeah, that's a strong word to use right here on this platform, little man. But we
don't tattletale on him.
We thought it was funny. We thought it was funny in our adolescence. La migra. You know what I mean? We thought it was funny in the adolescence. But here I am as a grown man. You know what I mean? It's not La Migra no more. It's ICE.
Straight up.
You feel me? Like,
bro, they got so much fucking, man, it's fucked up because the internet's filled with.
Put the camera on you.
Yeah, here I am. The internet's filled with basically people dry snitching on immigrant fucking businesses all day. Like Instagram's filled with it, from food to businesses to everything. So it's like ICE just has so much fucking so much to fucking go with, essentially.
Bro,
it's insane, bro.
Before all this happened, there were always people who were forced into a lot of bad shit. With the fear of that. There were bosses who would say, hey, if you don't do this job or take this amount of money or blah, 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 I'm going to call them. And now, imagine now.
That's crazy. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, now they're just doing it for fun and out of hate. And, it's crazy. Like, that somebody could do that. I used to hear stories when I was a kid about Cuba and what communism was like. And it's exactly like this. I was like, what the fuck is happening to America? It's turning into communist Cuba or Korea or some shit. Like,
I always tripped out on the word communism because it was such a strong word to be used, because forever the United States of America was fighting against communism, and communism was a crazy crime,
Yeah.
But what is communism?
Communism is a great concept on paper, but it's unrealistic when humans become involved, because people are fucking greedy and have a wicked nature. You see, it's nice to think that everyone deserves the same thing, that we can all have the exact same thing. There should be no rich, no poor, everyone the same. But people don't really work or earn or try or do. Some motherfuckers don't want to do nothing. Some motherfuckers want to bust their ass. Some people, you got every range and everything. Some doctors deserve this much money. These people deserve, you know what I mean? I believe that there's a balance there, right? I think that's how it should be. Maybe I'm thinking too capitalist. I don't know, but I don't it's not like I'm cool with either one, but there has to be a middle ground. You know what I mean? Communism is cool conceptually, but the minute people like Castro get involved, they get like, okay, fucking make it for me. You know, they say we're gonna ration everything. You get every month, you get a roll of toilet paper, a steak, little thin steak, and some couple things that you need every month. You get rationed everyone equally. But them in the government, they're living like fucking kings, bro. And that's what I mean. They get corrupted. It ain't never a fair balance. That's why it's better to let everybody go for theirs, get what you got to get, but make it fair. The thing here is that it's a lot of times it's not fair. You know what I'm saying? There's setbacks for people like us when it comes to bank loans, home loans, whatever the fuck. You know what I mean? We don't get the exact same treatment that others do.
The way you explained it make me feel like that I've been living in a communist society when doing time, bro. Because we are rationed X amount. And the way you explained it is a communist environment.
Well, that's what I was told Cuba was like, because I didn't live there. I was born in Jersey, but my family told me all these stories because they were, you know, refugees here from they got here my dad was before all the Castro shit, but my mom was, I believe, 60s. So yeah, you know, they had their experience with that shit, with Castro's regime coming in and all that.
If you were the president of the United States, bro, like, what was it? No, real shit, bro. Spencer, dog. This is a dude that's been all over the country, bro. It's been all over countries, bro. What would be the first thing that you'd implement, bro?
The first thing I would implement?
Yeah, in regards to just being the president of the United States, what would something you would focus on? Something that concerns you, because everybody has their agenda, their dilemma.
I think the two biggest things that this country needs, and I know it's hard being that it's in debt and all this shit, but I think the two most important, vital things that it needs is fair wages for people, because motherfuckers are working 3 jobs and still not meeting the rent. You know what I mean? Like, that shit is insane. So that and free medical fucking, like every other country does in this world, bro.
Let's go.
You know what I'm saying? I think those would be my two first.
You know what my thing is, brother? And I like that you said that. My thing is this, guys. So I don't know if you know this about me, bro, but I am a IBEW Local 11 certified journeyman for the state of California. But a lot of it, and it's a great job, bro. It's a great wage. You know what I mean? But we build the city up, but we can't afford to live in the city. You feel me? Because there's a lot of cats that are from my union, and they don't live in the city, but they're building the city up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that boggles my motherfucking mind, bro. That why can't we, the ones that are building the city up, can afford to live in the city?
Because keeping people on the edge of poverty makes them easier to control. Basically, that's the long.
And give them the alcohol to deal with it, and keep them coming back.
Yeah, the Roman, the Colosseum concept.
How did you feel about coming up to this election where Trump won the presidential election, but there was a lot of things going on before that in regards to the left agendas?
Oh no, here we go.
No, I wanna pick his brain a little bit in the sense of this.
I mean, off the bat, I'll tell you, I don't trust any side. I think it's two sides of the same coin.
Yes, sir.
I don't really trust either one. I don't think either one has been that great for us. You know what I mean? I feel like it's gonna take somebody who is willing to just do for the people. I don't know how that's gonna happen, but
it's in the middle.
Yeah, I jumped up when I was locked up, and I was like, "Fuck that dude!" And some guy approached me, came over. Wood was like, "Yo, why? I just honestly want to know why." And I was like, "Because he's not for the people. The dude is for him, and that's it. He ain't for you and me. He don't give a fuck what color you are. You think he does because he's using that, but he don't care about you either. So, you know, waiting for the day that somebody goes back in there and actually gives a shit about us. I mean, but how do you do that, bro? Politics are corrupt as fuck.
They say it's two wings of the same bird.
Yeah, two sides of the same coin, yeah.
Yeah, like you said it as well. Everybody, I want to give it up for DJFM. Bro, plug everything you got right here, bro. And everything you're doing, bro, let them know what you're doing, bro, so they can support it.
Check me out. Everything I do, as I do it, I post it on my IG. I kind of got rid of all my social media and just kept my Instagram for now. DJFM_LA. Check me out on there. I kind of started from scratch and built a whole new IG there. So I'm like, my numbers are low, but the fans and the people that are there are legit fucking good motherfuckers that follow for the right reasons. You know what I mean? So it seems. So I'm grateful for y'all. But yeah, DJFM_LA. You can catch me on Be Real TV every Tuesday in the pod, every Wednesday in the mix, and yeah, and at the sesh. Hit me up on the DMs at the IG, and I'll give you the address and shit if you want to peep it.
Sick.
There you go, right there. And also too, put it on me, Casey. Look at that guy right there.
Too handsome. Too handsome for YouTube.
Lucky's new channel, Too Handsome for YouTube.
Too handsome for YouTube. Look at this guy right here. Look at that shit right there. You think it's red, but it's Aztec gold. I mean, is that Aztec gold, bro? That's Aztec Jew right there.
The Aztec Jew.
The Aztec Jew right there, dog.
Damn.
I'll say you guys looking.
Justeca.
Justeca, fuck, dude.
I want to let you know right now, guys. I want you to go to www.50racks.com and cop one of these tees right here, dog. Yeah, dog. This is the one right here. This is the second. We brought this back. Shout out to Ed Cal One. Ed Cal One did this shit on this motherfucking whoop-de-whoop-whoop. www.50racks.com. And I'm taking my family to
This week
to Vegas.
Let's go. Sin City.
Yeah. And if you would like me to pull up to your business, your brand, I'm gonna pull up and I'm gonna fuck with you. We're gonna shoot a collaboration video.
Yeah, so hopefully a food vendor hits you up at a restaurant and makes Lucky eat like 10 hot dogs or something. Let's go. Let's get that. Let's make that happen.
Let me tell you this right now. I've been on the keto diet for a month and I went from 250 to 236.
Damn.
That shit
fire.
works. I've done it. Yeah,
Keto
yeah.
diet,
Word
baby.
up. That shit works.
Bro.
Yeah, but you got to keep working out because it'll take muscle too. You got to keep hitting them fucking weights at least.
Is that a crazy amount of weight to lose in a month?
No, for sure.
Yeah, that's
Keto
good.
will do it.
Bro, that rice and the motherfucking pasta, bro, will fuck you up. Shout out to my prima over there, Lisa.
I thought you some enchiladas too.
Yeah, no, but she hooked me up a certain different plate. I mean, but anyways, with that said, I'm gonna be in Vegas this week. If you want me to pull up to your shit, yeah, I'll pull up. Hit my DM.
Hit Lucky's DM. Let's go.